So
What's going
let's
on,
start
man?
our not too much. Getting ready to do this damn podcast.
Yeah, man. This will be first episode here of the Big and Small Media podcast, as we've decided to call it. So,
Yes, for multiple reasons.
yeah, I'm pretty big. You're pretty small,
That's true.
and
There's
also,
a lot of big and small media. So
exactly, touch on small media, big media, whatever,
everything.
whatever floats our boat, right?
Yes. So
So, what did we decide the first episode is going to be here? We decided on. Actually, you decided on. So, how about you take it away?
all right. Well, I figured a good way to start this podcast would be to talk about, since it's the end of 2020, how horrible this year has been. We could look back on the things we've liked movie wise in the last decade, starting with 2010. Just talk about the movies that came out, things we liked, maybe things we didn't like, and see where that takes us. How long it takes. Maybe we'll split this up
Yeah.
because it's a lot of things.
Yeah, man, you told me that idea, and I was like, "That's a great idea." And then I looked at, I started going through all the movies that came out each year, and compared that to the amount of those movies that I actually saw, and I saw a lot of movies over the last decade, man. A
Yeah,
lot of
me
movies.
too. Looking back at these, I am astounded by how many movies come out each year. Because I'm thinking I'm seeing like 4 or 5 movies a year, and I'm seeing a lot more than that.
Yeah, I
Usually.
mean, yeah. To be fair, though, I guess there are some here that like I probably saw like a couple years later, and they just happened to come
True.
out that year. But I think for the most
That's true.
part, I saw a lot of these, as they came out. So
Yeah, I saw a vast majority of them at least. Like just like you, there's some stuff I saw pretty recently actually, but we can still
yeah,
talk about them. I'm gonna
yeah,
still gonna talk about them as if I saw them pretty much that
yeah.
time. But
And actually, that's a great segue because 2010 obviously is the first year that we're touching on here, and
yeah,
Inception is in 2010, and I actually just finally sat down and like made myself watch that movie
yep,
like a couple months ago. I had tried to watch it years ago, and I just wasn't paying attention, and I knew that this was the kind of movie that you needed to pay attention to. In order to really appreciate it and even understand it to begin with. So um,
definitely.
I stopped watching it at that point because I knew I wasn't giving it the attention it needed and deserved. And then my girlfriend had actually seen the movie before and was kind of surprised that I haven't seen it. So we watched it, and man, much like most of Christopher Nolan's movies, it blew me away. So
Yeah, it's so wild how just good of movies he makes. Like
I
I
know.
don't get it. Just he barely has a miss, and when they're a miss, they're still good usually. So
Yeah, I know. And Inception was really strong movie. It had a great
yeah,
plot, obviously, and just the concept of it. Obviously, it's been like culturally iconic because now we have people add Inception to the end of everything. You got
a lot of stuff.
yeah, you got like you
South
got
Park made an episode about it.
right, and then you have like if you have like a game controller for your game controller, it's game controllerception or whatever,
It's
just
true.
something stupid. I have a game controller sitting right here, so that's the first
Yes.
thing that I thought of. So, but yeah, and actually, I was watching a video on it not long ago, and the one sound clip that's in the trailer, it's like that weird, like almost like a
The
foghorn.
boring
Yeah,
thing,
that.
yeah.
Apparently, Inception was the movie that incepted that into like trailers in popular media because I guess that was one
you
of the
you
first
do
movies to
you do hear
really.
it like everywhere now.
Dude, I know. Well, that's just it. Like the video I was watching, uh, they showed a bunch of trailers that. Oh, what happened to my camera feed?
Oh,
Uh,
got like a
technical
little dog or
difficulties.
something on there. I can't tell.
There we go.
All right, cool.
Technical difficulty has been averted. So
All right.
we're gonna run into a lot of those on this journey, as
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
still
sure.
running into those over on my gaming channel, which we will have links to in the description, as well as interactive
Yes.
links in this video for each of our respective channels, where we both right now kind of focus on gaming playthroughs and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, I'd like to touch on fitness stuff eventually on mine, but trying to
Nice.
figure out how to kind of incorporate that. So,
Right.
but yeah, we'll get those links added in there for everybody. I guess we kind of talked about Inception enough there, though. So,
Yeah.
I guess since I brought that one up, do you have anything from 2010 that stands out to you that you want to touch on?
I want to talk about a kind of underrated one in my opinion. I don't know if you've seen Daybreakers, right?
I have. I have that on my list actually.
Yeah, I
Very.
really liked that movie. It was a movie I was kind of whatever on. I saw the trailer for it. I was like, I like the cast, but I didn't really expect anything out of it. But I thought it was a really good, like,
Yeah, that was
kind of a unique vampire
what
movie.
was that like Ethan Hawke and
Yes, Ethan Hawke and
Willem Dafoe, right? Was
yeah,
he?
he's in it, and
He's in it. Yeah.
he's one of the vampire turned human or whatever. Also,
He,
spoilers for these movies,
yeah,
but
right. There may be some spoilers just to be clear, but I
yeah,
mean, these are this is
and
a 10 years old, so.
yeah. And what's the guy's name from Jurassic Park? I can't remember. Um,
Uh,
he plays Alan.
oh, I
Oh
don't know
God, what's
that.
his name?
I don't know the actor's name
I
off the
can't remember his
top of
name
my
either,
head.
and I apologize for that. But he's also in it. He's like the main guy.
Yeah,
But
honestly, the fact that I even remember that Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe are both in it should say something about it. Because I honestly
right?
think I haven't seen it since I'm pretty sure we saw it together in theaters back
Yeah,
then.
I thought so too. I
Um,
was pretty sure.
so, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the last time I saw it. But obviously, it stuck with me to some degree, and going over these lists have showed me a bunch of movies that I want to rewatch a lot.
I know,
So,
right?
but
And like, yeah, Daybreakers just really stood out for me as like kind of the one nobody ever talks about. And I'm like, I feel like the movie's a lot better than people give it credit.
yeah, I
But
agree. It was definitely good. It was a cool concept with the whole, vampires kind of rule
the
the
world,
world, and
yeah,
they are running out of blood to drink
yeah,
because all the humans are
humans are just like
tapped
stock
dry.
stuff
Right?
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cattle, and now
hmm
and I think they're trying to invent like a synthetic blood or something, and it's like
yeah, and it keeps
not
like killing
working.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
instead, you're just
Yeah,
like, oh
so
god, because they only have like 2 years or something supply of blood left or something like that.
yeah, that's it was a cool concept.
Yeah,
Definitely,
I liked it. It
definitely one of
wasn't
those.
like it wasn't like an overly horror thing or anything like that. It was just
No,
interesting.
I guess it was just kind of more, even just like sci-fi, kind of
Yeah,
like action adventure sci-fi type of, with like a little bit of horror because obviously they're vampires.
right.
Um, but yeah,
It was
that
cool.
that is a good one. Um, Definitely a good one. I
That
one another movie that I thought was kind of underrated from that year was actually the movie Buried. I don't know if you ended up seeing that at all.
is that the one with Ryan Reynolds?
It is, yeah,
I
where
actually have not seen that.
the whole movie takes place inside of a coffin that he's buried in. Um,
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing trailers for that, but I never ended up seeing it. I think I just forgot about it, honestly.
it's actually really good. I would suggest
Ooh.
checking that one out. It's just cool because, like I said, it takes place. The whole thing takes place inside the coffin. Like literally, no part of the movie is outside of the coffin. I don't think,
Wow.
except for maybe the intro. But it's been a while. But it was definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. So
All right, I'll
um,
definitely have to. I think I saw it on Netflix or something at some point.
yeah, it might have been on there. I haven't seen it since probably around the time it came out. It's another one of those movies I kind of want to watch again, mostly because it's good and you can't go wrong with Ryan Reynolds. So
Right. Another really good from 2010 that I'm hoping we can get a sequel to here soon because there's rumors is Jackass 3.
Jackass 3D. Oh
Yeah.
man, I remember that being like the first, ironically and crazily enough, being the first movie that I actually ran with that 3D craze from the time, like
Yeah.
actually well, like
Yeah, that's true.
because there was all those movies that were coming out like years prior, like My Bloody Valentine 3D, that were just
That movie
like
was terrible.
just. I think that came out like either the year before 2009 or like 2008. It came
Yeah.
out one of those years and just so bad where they tried to like use the 3D in like the classic like amusement park style with like
Yeah.
pitchfork coming out of the screen at you and like
Yeah.
I mean, I get that novelty, but for an amusement park,
Yeah.
not like a movie. But Jackass 3D really like they use those super high speed cameras for the slow mo shots and
Yeah.
like
Like
had like
dildo launchers and
you're
stuff.
right, yeah. That movie was good. That was a good
It
movie.
was.
Was that? I can't remember. Was Ryan Dunn in that movie? Was that before he
Yeah, that
died?
was
Okay.
that was before he died. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was like
could.
shortly after that, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he had passed away before that or not. But yeah, you're
Mhm.
right because I think that was the movie where he did the ice horse where he like
Yeah.
sat down on that horse
Oh God.
with his pants down and
Yep.
think that was the last time Brandon DiCamillo was ever seen in any of the Jackass movies too,
Yeah, that's true.
because he was in that skit as just like a bystander. But
Oh God.
yeah, there it has been rumored that there's going to be a sequel to that coming up at
Yeah.
some point. I think.
Fourth one, I would definitely see it. So
Dude, I'll go
I
day
love
one.
I love all those guys. I'm glad Johnny Knoxville still does some stuff, but
Yeah, he's still out there. He's in some movie that's on Netflix right now where he's like a priest or
seems like it.
something.
Oh, interesting.
I forget what it's
I,
called,
s-
but
I saw I think it was at Walmart. There's like a straight to video like horror movie with Johnny Knoxville where he's like the bad guy in it. He's
oh
like a
really?
murderer or something.
Okay.
But hey, at least he's doing something.
Yeah, I mean, most of those guys are really doing a lot. I mean, Steve-O's been doing like
That's
stand
true.
up, and
Yeah, and
a
he's like
lot of
traveling
them,
and stuff.
a lot of them have been doing stand up. I think I know that Preston Lacey does some stand up, and
Oh, nice.
they all got their thing. You know, Dave England is like a snowboarder. He's been a snowboarder, but he does that kind of stuff. Wee Man skateboards. He's always been a skateboarder as well. So I follow a lot of them on Instagram because they were like my heroes growing up. So
Right. Is Bam
as
doing anything?
whew,
Oh,
obviously, as we know, he's been kind of going through a rough patch ever since
yeah,
Ryan Dunn died. So,
that's true. Yeah,
as far as I know, based on his Instagram, he's been trying real hard to try to like sober up because I know he's been having
that's
some
good.
issues on that front. But I haven't really kept up with it, so I don't know what it's like for him now. But I think he's been doing all right. But don't quote me on that because I haven't
Right.
really haven't really kept up on it too much. I honestly haven't been using Instagram that much as of late, so anything he might be posting, I probably haven't seen it. So,
That's fair.
um, yeah, so
Then
yeah, Jackass 3D was great.
yeah,
Um,
then they had uh, Predators came out that year, which in my opinion is the best Predator we've had yet since the original. Other than minus, wasn't a huge fan of the hell's his name, the main guy. Um, God,
in Predators or
yeah, in Predators.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't a huge fan of him in that movie, but otherwise, I thought it was a really good Predator movie. I
yeah,
liked it a lot.
you
Just because
know.
I didn't like it originally when I saw it, but I recently rewatched it. I actually own it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I recently rewatched it and I liked it a lot more than I remembered. But it was
Yeah.
definitely way better than the more recent Predator movie, which was ass. So
Oh, that movie was that. Yeah, I mean, dude, any Predator movie that has existed or will ever exist will probably be better than that most
that's
recent
true.
Predator movie.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
it
was
was
bad.
like a sci-fi channel original, dude.
Oh, dude.
I don't understand.
Because we saw it in theaters together and it was just fucking terrible.
It was pretty bad. So, um,
Gross.
it could have been. I think it could have been all right, but I just don't really think. And I could be off base here because I haven't seen the first and the second one super recently,
Right.
but I just don't think that the level of humor they were trying to put into that movie fits in with Predator.
No, it was just kind of cringy and weird.
It was super forced. I felt like.
Yeah.
So and it's a shame because obviously, who was it? Keegan Key was in that movie, right?
Yeah. Mm.
He's a hilarious guy, but just
Yeah,
like
he's so funny.
misplaced, unfortunately, on that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Predators. I don't have that one on my list. I don't remember it that much. It was kind of underwhelming to me, and I
That's fair.
haven't watched it since. But
Mm.
it's one that I wouldn't mind revisiting because honestly, I really feel like the Predator franchise has been one that has not gotten its due diligence, man. Like
Oh, I completely agree.
Predator is like one of the coolest, IPs out there, and it
Yeah.
just outside of like comics and stuff, it doesn't get
Yeah, I
at
was
all what it
actually gonna say
deserves,
that.
man. It's crazy to me.
There's so much potential in like a good Predator or like Alien versus Predator movie that they just haven't been able to do for some
Dude,
reason.
anything, a series, an anime, a cartoon, something that's like
Right?
good, that
Please
like
give me something.
that like showcases like because I know that there's like really cool lore behind Predator as far as I understand it, and it's just
Yeah.
like the first movie is obviously iconic. A lot of people kind of hate on the second movie, which I don't really get because I like that movie a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I like it too.
But a lot of people hate on it. I don't. I mean, Danny
Yeah,
Glover is classic, so I
it's
don't.
obviously not as good as like the first one, but it's still good.
Right. I mean, you
I like
can't.
Danny Glover. Um, oh God, why am I blanking on names? Um, the guy from who's an alien, the guy who recently died too.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton's in that too. Yeah, like that's a great movie.
Honestly, I do not know how I remember that guy's name.
Yeah, right.
I really
It's
don't know
funny.
how I
I
remember
was
that
just
guy's
talking
name.
about him recently too because I saw him in some movie. Oh, it was I forgot he was in t- uh, t- t- oh God, The Edge of Tomorrow. Why am I stuttering on
Oh,
that?
he was in that movie?
Yeah, he's like the drill
Okay.
sergeant, and I
Nice,
was like, oh
nice.
God, it's
That's
also a
awesome.
good movie.
Yeah, he's
But
yeah, that's a good movie. We'll touch on that later because it's down
yeah,
the list. So,
it's true.
um,
All right,
I
and I think my last thing I would really talk about is for standouts of that year would either be there's Kick Ass and Black Swan,
dude,
which
and then there's also Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So like,
oh my God, yeah,
there were some good movies. I mean, honestly, like 127 Hours came out that year. I really
that
liked
was
that
good. Yeah,
movie. Shutter Island was out that year. So like,
I remember seeing that, but I don't remember anything
dude,
about it. I remember
it
it being he's like imagining it or something.
yeah,
I think
it's
at the end, I
so
can't remember.
he's on like well, that's the thing is you don't really know. He's on
Oh, okay,
he goes to like a mental facility or like an insane asylum on an island,
right.
and you don't really know if he was already a patient on that island and made up the whole scenario of him being a detective, or if he actually was a detective that got you know
Went crazy
turned
or put in
crazy
there or
because he
something.
was in there and they turned the tables on him. It's
Right.
definitely worth a watch. It's pretty mind bending,
Hmm.
honestly. It's a good movie.
I need to
Actually,
rewatch it then.
yeah, for sure. I would say rewatch that one. I actually one that another movie that I think was really really underrated from this year was Splice. Did you see that movie
Oh,
with
that's the one with
Adrian
Adrian
Brody?
Brody, right?
Yeah,
Where he makes
where
that
they
creature.
create that creature. Yeah,
He has sex with it or whatever.
dude, both of them have him and his wife have sex
Oh,
with it.
geez, I don't even remember
Yes. And
that.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the ending in case anybody wants to watch it, but it's pretty good. I liked it a lot. It was
Oh,
definitely
okay,
I think it was a sleeper from that year because it was pretty good. Um,
I believe you. I just don't remember anything from it. I definitely saw it.
and then
But
like if you want to touch on the the foreign side of things, I saw The Devil came out that year, that Korean
oh,
film.
that's a crazy movie.
Crazy good
I
movie. Yeah,
think
that
I watched
movie.
that at our friend Brett's.
Yeah, we watched it at
Pretty
his house,
sure.
I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was wild.
And then there's just a couple other like Book of Eli came out that year and
I
uh
That was actually one I was going to bring up as one I really didn't like.
didn't like that one. Yeah.
No, that I thought was really disappointing because I love Denzel Washington,
Yeah, yeah, obviously
and
iconic.
like I don't know, I just did not find that movie entertaining. I felt like nothing happened throughout most of it, and
I
then when
mean,
you find out what
that's fair.
the twist is, it's not that impressive. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah,
that's just me personally.
I think I feel like I remember being impressed by it back then, but I can see where now like probably
Yeah,
wouldn't be that impressive. I thought it was
that's fair.
good. It was definitely one of those movies that like had a decent amount of entertainment value for me. But
That's fair.
I'll tell you one movie that came out that year that did not have an entertainment value for me, and probably for anybody. The movie Rubber,
Oh my God, yeah,
which
the
is about
killer
the killer
tire.
tire. Yes,
I did not see that year, but I know I watched it. I think at Brett's as well, and it was just terrible.
dude, I remember watching it at my house, like with my brother, because I think he was all about
Oh
that
no!
movie, which is
Oh no!
pretty typical of him.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say that
um,
that lines up.
that was pretty typical of him, at least back then. But and now I don't know so much. But yeah, I just remember watching it on my couch at my house and just like, dude, just like wanting to force myself to fall asleep because it was just not
Yeah,
not good, dude. I thought it was gonna be good for the novelty, and that one was just one that
yeah,
I just couldn't really get over that one.
yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's bad. So I think that's pretty much the consensus. So
yeah, and then just real quick because I don't think we've really touched on many of the comedies that came out that year.
that's
There's
true.
some good
Do
comedies.
there's like Due Date, which came out.
Due Date, Get Him to the Greek
Just
came out.
it's true.
Uh,
The other guys.
Yeah. She's Out of My League, which that's one of
Yeah,
my
that's a good
that's one of
movie.
my favorite movies from that year, dude. I love that movie. The cast is
Mm.
great. Jay Baruchel is hilarious.
It is a good movie.
Um,
I remember seeing it like once. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember it being really funny.
Dude, I remember going to see it in theaters back then, and like my whole family was making fun of me because they were like, "That's a chick flick. That's a chick flick," and I was like, "I
Jeez.
don't think it's a chick flick, and it's definitely not a chick flick. I
No,
mean,
it's
I
not.
guess it could pass for one slightly, but
Yeah.
it's definitely like a a comedy." And Dinner for Schmucks came out that year too.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good movie too.
yeah,
I forgot about that.
and then there was also one that people hate on, but I really like. Grown Ups came out that year. The first Grown Ups
I like
movie.
Grown Ups. I think that's good.
I
Those are
think
good movies.
it's a hilarious movie. I don't know. I think it's great. It's a pretty wholesome Adam Sandler movie, in my opinion. It's
Yeah, it is.
just a
I
classic.
think
Him and his friends with their I don't know if they're all their real kids, but him and his
right.
friends with
Kids.
their kids in the movie at least. And
Yeah,
I don't know. It's wholesome to me. I think it was pretty good.
I
I
agree.
I think it was his kind of return to form because he kind of dropped off after like Click was like his
Yeah.
last okay movie, and then he fell off for a while, and then Grown Ups came out, and I thought it was kind of a return to form for him.
Yeah,
Because
I do as well. It was very entertaining.
yeah, because obviously there's a lot of bad movies he put out over the
Yeah.
years. Like
Definitely.
yeah, so
But you can't deny he definitely can pump them out, but
yeah, and
hit or
and
miss.
if you don't have any other ones really, there's one other foreign one I wanted to bring up, which was Troll Hunter. I don't know if you saw that one.
I have not seen that. I've heard good things though.
That's a good one. It's very interesting. I forget where it takes place. It might be like Finland or Norway or something. It's one of those. It's one of those countries, and it's pretty good. It's worth a watch, I would say.
Very
Um,
nice.
yeah, so that's pretty much the last for what's on my list for 2010 as
Thing
far
I
as
yeah. I think the only movie I haven't touched on in 2010, which I think it might be the best movie there, is The Last Airbender.
uh,
So,
yes.
yes. Just kidding. It's absolutely horrible. So we can move on to
it's, it's
2011.
it's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, don't get too mad.
Yeah.
Oh
Don't want
god.
to trigger the audience here because
Yeah. All right. It's 2011. Also a lot of movies.
yes, there was a lot of movies that came out this year.
Yeah.
Um, did you have any? Did you have any
Um,
that really like stood out to you that you could almost consider like maybe your favorite from that year? Do you think?
I think I think the standout for me that year probably was Captain America.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of biased because I really love the Marvel stuff, but
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
America and Thor came out that year, so that was really good for
Okay.
that.
I actually
Uh,
just now that it's kind of good that you brought up Captain America and just kind of Marvel in general. I just kind of want to put it out there that like obviously this decade had a lot of Marvel movies, and
oh yeah,
for most of us they were all very good. So
yeah,
like I'm gonna put it out there that I probably won't talk too much about them because like
yeah,
most of them are pretty obviously good, and like it'll probably just get very redundant talking about uh,
yeah.
the bulk
Marvel
of
stuff.
them.
All yeah,
Maybe later down on the line where they start getting like really really good, especially ones that stand out a lot, like
yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, because that one was like one I don't think a lot of people were expecting much from, and
True.
it ended up being amazing. We can probably
Yeah,
touch on ones like that. At least
yeah,
personally, I probably won't touch on a lot of them because I liked them all. Most people like them all.
yeah,
They're kind of obvious in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I probably won't talk about them too much either, unless it's like a big one for some reason, like Endgame and stuff. But
Yeah, right. Like
uh,
the really big ones. Obviously, the first ones in the series are pretty big, but
yeah,
I honestly wasn't super embedded into the Marvel Cinematic Universe at that point in time.
that's fair.
Um, so like I remember seeing Captain America at the Dollar Theater as like an afterthought back when the Dollar Theater existed. Yeah,
Yeah,
in our
I missed that.
hometown, we had a theater where you could go see movies for $1. Like
It was very nice.
between like them being in like the normal theaters and then coming out on DVD, they would go to the
Yeah,
Dollar Theater for a couple weeks, and you could go see them in the theater for $1, or even on like Tuesdays it was like 50 cents or something.
yep.
So like,
There are there are movies in there that I didn't think were worth $1 that I saw, but it's okay.
oh yeah, my man.
I'll talk about them at some point then here.
Yeah, yeah.
But But yeah, they obviously had the Captain America and Thor, which are their first of theirs, so they're kind of important. But other than that, um, they
Didn't
had
uh,
what's
didn't
that?
uh, didn't Iron Man 2 come out in 2010? I don't think we touched on that one,
It did, but
um,
again, yeah, like again, kind of like we said, I kind of just skipped over it because
yeah,
it's
because
whatever.
obvious and
Like
yeah,
it's good, but it's not amazing. So,
right.
but other than that, a big one that stood out to me was the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Was
Yep.
one of
I
them
I did like that movie a lot.
because I liked the first one a lot, but the second one like really amped it up for me. I,
Which one was the first one?
I think it was just Planet of the Apes. I'm pretty sure,
I feel like
and then
this.
it's Rise and then it's Dawn.
No, I think this series Rise is the first one, and then
Is
Dawn,
it?
and then War for Planet of the Apes.
Oh, then this is the first one. Okay.
Yeah, with James Franco and
Yeah.
Caesar. Yeah.
Well, I really like this one too. So.
Yeah, I really like this one. Yeah, because obviously James Franco is great.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
actually
go
saw it
wrong with
for
James
James
Franco.
Franco. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah, he was kind of a hot commodity back in this point in time. I think.
that's true.
Um, so
He always he almost has been since like the Spider-Man stuff.
Oh,
So
dude. I mean, he had a couple movies in this time coming out. Like Your Highness came out this year too,
yeah,
which
that's a
I
wild
love that
movie.
movie. I fucking love that movie, dude.
I remember liking that movie, but I know so many people hate that movie for some reason.
Dude, so many people don't like it, and I'm like, all right, I love it. So it's hilarious.
Like
It's got
Natalie
a
Portman's in
yeah,
that
Natalie
movie.
Portman, Danny McBride is in it.
Yeah,
Like, hello.
that's great. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's that the Planet of the Apes is really good, and John Lithgow's in that movie too, which
Yes,
is
yeah,
really
he
good.
plays James
Like,
Franco's dad, actually,
yeah,
who has he's actually the reason why James Franco is trying to develop what they're testing on the monkeys because his dad has
yeah,
Alzheimer's, I think, and they're trying to
yeah,
cure Alzheimer's or whatever. So
yeah. And it's really good. If you haven't seen that new trilogy, it's very good. So
yeah, it is
just
very good.
anybody out there,
Yeah, I actually don't think I've watched War for Planet of the Apes, but we'll
oh,
touch
it's
on
very
that
good.
when we get to it. So
Okay,
for me, I think honestly, hands down. Well, for me, it's a tough one. It's like for my favorite like super standout movies in this year. There's
he
two
said
movies,
hands down, but not really.
hands down, actually both hands down.
Right,
It's well because I realized that this other movie came out this year too. So
that's fair.
so Drive came out this year
Oh, Drive is good.
with yeah Ryan Gosling,
Ryan
and
Gosling.
then
Yep.
Warrior came out this year too, which was the movie with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton, where they were both UFC fighters.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, dude, that's a good movie. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Ooh, I'll have to
Um,
see if it's on
but
something.
but Drive is also it was on Amazon Prime, I think.
Ooh,
But
I'll have to look
Drive
it
is
up.
also one of my favorite movies. I really like that movie. Um, I remember going to see it in theaters, like having no idea what it was about, and this was back when like Ryan Gosling was super popular because of The Notebook.
Yeah,
So, I was one of those guys that like when an actor was famous because of, their Nicholas Sparks movie debut, I was like, man, I don't want to see a movie with this guy in it.
yeah,
So
that's yeah. I definitely can agree with that.
I went to the theater
So
like,
can Robert Pattinson.
yeah, yeah. Luckily, I got over that though, because
Yeah, me too.
honestly, I want to say Drive was probably the movie that kind of made me kind of break that psyche or that way of thinking. Because like I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be lame. Because I remember like the logo was like all pink text, and I was like, this is gonna
Yeah,
be some stupid like chick flick movie. Which at this point in my life, I'll watch a chick flick if it's good.
I'll watch anything. Yeah,
I
pretty
don't care.
much.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I watched Drive, and dude, that movie blew me away. It was so good. It was absolutely so good. And this was
Yes.
back when, because Oscar Isaac is in that movie. Um,
Yes.
he plays the father of the boy that Ryan Gosling's character is interacting with, and the mom.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of like back before he was, because I mean, obviously, dude, Oscar Isaac plays literally everyone now. So
Yeah, he is incredibly famous now,
he plays
which is good because
everything.
he's a very good actor.
Yeah, I mean,
But
he plays everyone now, and I never actually, but honestly, anytime I see him, I'll always see him as his character from Drive, like,
that's fair.
because I just love
I
that movie so much. So
yeah. I always picture him as the guy from Ex Machina for some reason. I don't know why. I just see him with like nerdy glasses and like working out. I'm just like, all right. But
yeah, those are
that
my
is a good.
those are my two standouts from that year that I really liked a lot. So
I want to say I've become a really big fan of like the Mission Impossible series
okay,
ever since three. I think three was a fantastic movie, and they've all been good since then. And
yeah,
Mission Impossible Ghost came out this year,
okay,
which I thought was really good, and it's become kind of a big thing for me because it's something like me and my dad go see
okay, yeah,
when
yeah,
they
that's
come out.
cool.
So something we can kind of bond over. But
Yeah,
as crazy as Tom Cruise is, I think he's a really good actor still. So I really enjoyed those movies, and I still look forward to the Mission Impossibles. And the last one was really good, but I'll talk about that
yeah, right.
eventually.
Yeah, I'll touch on Tom Cruise later because
But there's
um,
and this year also had great movies such as Jack and Jill, which
oh
Adam
man,
Sandler's wonderful movie.
yeah, he kind of left form after Grown Ups there for a minute
Yeah,
and
he was like Grown Ups are real good movies, and then
put
Jack and
out
Jill, I don't know.
put out that garbage. But yeah, I wanted to
the
see. Yeah, there was honestly this year had a lot of movies come out that I really liked.
yeah
And honestly, it just I feel like the list gets longer as we go on. But
yeah, I
um,
keep looking at the stuff I've seen. And I'm like, well, I could talk about this and this and this, but there's so many things. Like there's Super came out that year with Rainn Wilson.
yeah, and
That movie's weird as fuck.
wasn't well,
Ellen
I guess
Ellen
his name
Page
is
or
Elliot Page now.
yeah, Elliot Page, yeah,
Yeah,
was in that
but
too.
that was back when he was Ellen Page.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah, he was in that as well.
yes.
And
Yeah,
that
that's a
movie,
weird ass movie, but I really
so
liked it.
random, so
It is.
random. I'm pretty sure we watched that at Brett's as well.
Yeah, I
So
think we did too.
um, he,
And
I, honestly, for as much as crap we give him for like
yeah.
being a spoiler, especially back in the day, man, dude, back when we would watch movies at his house, dude,
Yeah, we
biggest
would just
spoiler.
talk shit on a lot
But
of
as
movies.
much crap as we give him, he did introduce us to a lot of movies I probably
Oh
never would
yeah,
have saw otherwise.
yeah.
So we
Brem-
appreciate you, bud.
yeah, Brett's a
As much
wonderful
as you
guy.
might not think we do, we do. So
Yeah, I love that man,
yeah,
but I will always make fun of him
absolutely.
or in his movies.
Well, yeah, well, I
But
mean, we all make fun of each other, so
yeah, that's true.
that's just the way
It's
it
just
goes. So,
it's just fun to poke fun at movies.
but
But
yeah, so I kind of like one of the more underrated movies that came out this year. I don't know if you saw this one or not, but the movie 30 Minutes or Less. Did you see that
I
movie?
did see that movie. That was really good. That's the one
Ab-
with Danny McBride and
Danny McBride and Jesse
is
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah,
Yep.
that was
That
good.
movie is so good, man.
It
I
is really good.
Dude, I love back when it came out. I loved that movie, dude. I watched it so many times. And supposedly, I'd have to check on this, but last I knew, it was actually based on the pizza bomber case, or like
Yeah, that
inspired
I
by the
remember
pizza
hearing that.
bomber
Yeah,
case that happened in Erie, because it's a
yeah.
very similar, plot line, obviously, because
Oh,
they
for
order
sure. Yeah.
pizza and they strap a bomb to the kid to make him go rob a bank for them. So,
Yep,
if
I
that
remember hearing that it was.
if the writer of the movie did not hear about the pizza bomber case in Erie and then wrote that, that's pretty spooky
Wow.
that he
Yeah,
came up with like almost exact same like plot
for
line.
sure.
So I feel like that one was pretty underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about that one.
Yeah,
One of
that's
those
true.
like it was one of those like comedies that like like Super Bad and all those comedies that like obviously Super Bad's iconic, but I feel
Yeah,
like it's like they're all made by the same people and like sometimes
yeah,
some of them go under the radar when
that's
they
true.
should be
They do
appreciated
make
a
a lot
little
of them.
more. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially back then. I feel like they don't come out as much now these days,
yeah.
but
Which is probably for
um,
the better, just because they're more noticed then.
yeah,
But
right.
also, the one thing I noticed when looking at this list is there's a series on here that I hadn't even thought of forever because I feel like they just haven't made anything. Maybe they're done. But the Final Destination 5 came out this year.
Oh, you know, I saw that and I was just like, dude, I don't think I even watched past like the third one, if even the second one.
I watched all of them.
I've obviously seen the first and the second one, but I don't know if I've seen past the
I have
second one.
I can honestly say that those are kind of my guilty pleasure movies. I think those movies are just dumb and fun. I
Oh,
watch them sometimes.
dude, there's absolutely nothing wrong with those movies. Like the first and the second one are they're iconic in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think they were like awesome when they first came out.
Yeah, they're pretty original too when they first came out, which was
They
cool.
just kind of, I saw the second one, maybe the third one. And it just kind of like the Saw series. Like they just kind of like kept
It's the
pumping them
same
out,
thing.
and I couldn't keep up, and just never felt the need to.
Yeah.
So,
And they're all the same thing each movie.
right, that's what I
But
mean. Like it's like you've seen one, you've probably seen them all, but
yeah.
um, but they're still entertaining. I understand what you mean. Like
right?
that's kind of like me with the Paranormal Activity movies. Like I've seen all of
That's a
those,
good, yeah, yeah.
and they get a lot of heat, but I like those movies.
I've
But
actually seen all those too, and I have a weird thing about this movie because Paranormal Activity 3 came out this year, and the weird thing about these movies is I think every other movie like is good and every other movie is bad. Like I
oh
really like the
really?
first one, I didn't like the second one, I really like the third one, didn't like the fourth one, I really like the fifth one. I
Hey,
was like,
that's
oh
fair.
geez.
That's fair.
So
They're to me they all have like a decent amount of entertainment value. Like
yeah.
they were obviously way overhyped when they first came out.
Oh yeah.
But like what where they had all those ads of the people like
Scariest
leaving the
movie of all
theater and
time.
stuff, and I
Yeah.
was like, get out of here. What are those like
Scarier than The
4-year-olds or
Exorcist, and I'm
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
what?
right, dude.
What is going on here?
Watch The Exorcist, dude. First time I saw The Exorcist, I was like 22. I remember distinctively. I was at Brett's house, of course,
Right.
and we were watching it in his basement as we always did. And
Yeah.
I just remember like watching it, like again as a 22-year-old man, like lying on his one couch, like clutching a pillow, because I was like, dude, this movie is like freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah. I
Like,
watched that. I watched that movie for the first time like 3 years ago, and because I had realized like I had never seen that, and
yeah,
it was actually terrifying. I was like, how is
dude,
this scary?
that's what I mean.
It's from like the
Dude,
80s.
I know, and imagine that coming out back in the 80s. Like that,
I
I
know.
heard
They,
that
they,
was a
they like
movie where
banned that movie
I heard
back
that
in the
was a movie
80s.
where people were actually like leaving the theater in like droves because
Right?
it was
Yeah.
like disturbing and scary, and like
Yeah. And
obviously
it
like
was banned in certain states.
God was way more serious back then, so people were way more
Yeah.
religious and couldn't handle the blasphemy. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was like banned in certain states or something.
yeah, you might
That's
be
pretty
right.
crazy.
But another, let's see, what else do we have on this list here? I do want to touch on the one thing, the end of an era, in my opinion, which was Transformers: Dark of the Moon came out this year,
Oh.
which
Oh
was
yeah.
the last Transformers with Shia LaBeouf in it, which is a
Rip.
shame
Rip.
because Shia LaBeouf, in my opinion, is a national treasure. I love that man.
F's in the chat for shy.
Dude. Well, not anymore. He's doing good. He
That's
he
true.
he,
He
he
is.
got
Yeah.
back up, man.
He was in
He's
a
got
pretty bad spot for a while, but he's good now.
he's got some incredible movies later down on this list that he made recently.
True.
So he was in a dark spot, but he's back.
Yeah,
And
and we all have dark spots, so
yeah, and
can't judge.
honestly, I always backed him, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of Even Stevens or because of the Transformers movies, but
Holes.
dude, Holes, I have always loved that guy, and I've never
Mm.
not loved that guy. Uh, if you've never watched his Hot Ones interview, you have to watch it. It's probably like
It is really
it's
good.
the best episode of Hot Ones I think that's ever been recorded. So
I
like
believe it. Yeah.
it's good. It's good. But yeah, Transformers Dark of the Moon, obviously the first 3 of those movies weren't that great to begin with, but
Yeah.
compared to the more recent ones,
Yeah. 4 and
dude,
5 are just ass. They're
dude,
just so bad.
compared to the recent ones, dude, the first 3 are like The Godfather 1, The
Right.
Godfather 2, and The Godfather 3 compared to these newer ones, man. Oh,
Right.
dude.
I like Mark Wahlberg and all, but they're so
I
bad.
do too, and it's not really an issue with Mark Wahlberg. It's an
Yeah, it's the
issue with
writing.
Michael Bay and the directing and
Yeah.
the writing. And
Yeah.
I actually watched a video recently. I have a couple. I follow a couple people who do like film, like critiquing and kind of breakdowns. And he was talking about how Michael Bay kind of just like does whatever he wants because he doesn't care
Yeah.
what people think of him. So he just does whatever he wants, and his movies show it. And
Yeah, that's true.
not in a good way either.
No real structure or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, oh yeah, dude, the one guy I was talking to was talking about how no structure at all. Like he was like in the I forget which one came out after Dark of the Moon. The first one with Mark Wahlberg.
Um,
I don't know if it was like Last Night or if it was
Last Night was the last one.
okay.
It
I
was
don't
5.
remember
So
what I don't,
4 is something dumb. I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember. I don't remember the one where the dude comes and tells Optimus Prime that he has to get you know imprisoned because he's throwing off the balance of
Yeah.
the universe. But then that guy who was sent by the like higher beings is also supposed to like turn Earth into a new like Cybertron. It's like okay,
Right.
isn't that going to
Jeez.
throw off the balance just as worse as what Optimus? But anyway, but that's
Yeah.
exactly the point.
Yeah.
Like, but like apparently like In that movie, he like introduces Megatron in like the third act, and it's just like
Yep.
it's like it's too late to introduce another villain, dude.
Right.
But yeah, but Michael Bay, yeah, but Dark of the Moon, last of the good Transformers movies.
Yeah. Quote unquote. I mean, I
uh,
like Bumblebee,
well,
but we'll
Bumblebee
talk
was
about
good.
that
Yeah,
later.
Bumblebee
Yeah.
was good, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think when it comes to that year, pretty much pretty much the big standouts for me. There's a couple other interesting ones, but nothing that sticks out too much. Like I liked Limitless.
yeah,
Um,
Limitless was pretty good.
I liked Year One is dumb, but I
Year
like that
one,
movie.
dude. I mean, you can't go wrong
I
with
love
Jack
Jack
Black,
Black.
so you
Yeah, I
cannot
love
go
Jack Black.
wrong with Jack Black. And
Michael
Michael
Cera's
Cera
pretty
too.
funny.
He's not bad. He was
Yeah,
another one of those hot commodities back then, but he was kind of like he was trailing off of his super bad
yeah,
fame. So
that's true. And he's pretty much gone now, as far as I can tell.
yeah,
So
pretty much. He was doing like Arrested Development. It's really all I know he was doing.
yeah.
So um, one of the one movie in here that I wanted to bring up was a Kevin Smith movie, which is Red State. Have you seen Red
Oh, that
State?
is a really good movie. Yeah, the
Fantastic movie,
John
man.
Goodman.
Yes,
The That is a really good movie. I
dude,
remember
that
seeing that a few years ago actually, and it was fantastic.
that movie is so good, man.
It is.
I need
It's
to rewatch it actually because it's been a long time since I've seen it.
right.
But that's just like because Kevin Smith was obviously like really known for like a lot of comedic stuff, and like
Right.
that was
He
a
did a
pretty
serious.
that was a pretty heavy movie,
Yeah, it was. It was
um,
very
which
serious, very heavy.
which is impressive to see his range like that because
Right.
Kevin Smith is a good director, but again he mostly did like
Like weird or goofy, funny
yeah,
movies.
even stuff like I think he did Dogma, didn't he?
Yeah. The
Even stuff
Dogma.
like that was kind of serious, but still had like a lot of comedic elements to it.
Right. Like everybody
So
obviously knows him from like Jay and Silent Bob and stuff. So
right,
it's
right,
like a very different tone.
exactly, yeah, and yeah, so that was a good one. And then there's some other obscure ones that came out this year, like Killer Joe with Matthew McConaughey came out that
Yeah.
year, which is good. The Muppets came out that year, which was a pretty.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Actually, another sleeper I think was In Time with Justin Timberlake. Did you see that
Oh
movie?
yeah, and Amanda Siegfried or whatever her
Yeah,
name is.
yeah. That movie was actually
That
really
was
good.
good. Yeah, that's the one where they have to steal like time to stay
Yeah,
alive or whatever.
well,
Right?
yeah,
They have.
they literally
You can tell how long you're gonna live.
use time to like pay for things,
Oh yeah, it's like
and when you run out
currency.
of time, you die. So
Yeah.
and you had to work to earn time, which is
Yeah, that's a pretty
crazy.
crazy
Yeah,
concept.
the
Yeah,
concept was very very cool, and
it was.
you know one of Justin Timberlake's best movies. I mean, he hasn't been in too many, but
No,
um,
yeah, he's a good actor. I'm
yeah,
surprised he doesn't do as much,
he's not bad at
but,
all.
he
Um,
has his whole music career, so whatever. Guess he doesn't really need to act.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know he's been on like Saturday Night Live and stuff, and
Oh
obviously
yeah,
he did stuff with the Lonely Island
Lonely Island. Yep.
as well. So, um, but yeah, I did you have any more? I mean, I actually have a ton of movies on this list that I haven't
Yeah,
even talked about yet, but
2011's
um,
a pretty stacked year for the most part.
it was
But other ones I said I like Attack the Block. Attack the
Attack the
Block's a
Block was
fantastic
good.
movie.
Yeah,
John
John
Boyega,
Boyega back in
his
his
like big
infancy.
debut, pretty
Yep.
much. Yeah. Now he's in Star Wars and stuff. Now he's set forever.
Yeah,
But
right.
he's a really good actor. So, but like if you haven't seen that, definitely watch it. But yeah, those are most of my standouts for that year. Everything else is mostly just okay. For
Yeah, one other
the
one
most
that I
part.
thought was really good was Goon. Came out that year too.
Oh, Goon is good. I
Goon
miss
was really
Sean
good.
William Scott.
Dude, me
I really
too.
wish he was in more stuff.
He's in some like horror movie that came out recently, I think, that I wanted to
Really?
check out, but I forget what it's called. I'll have to find out.
Huh.
And another kind of like sleeper comedy slash drama was 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen.
I
Um,
vaguely remember that movie. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt has like
he
cancer or
has
something, right?
cancer. Yeah, yeah. That's a good movie. It's a heartfelt movie. If you want
Yeah.
to watch something, if you want to feel wholesome, that's a good one to
Right.
watch. Because I mean, I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's another one of my like favorite actors.
Yeah.
Um, kind of underrated in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
But yeah, and then just a couple like honorable mentions. Like Grave Encounters came out that year, which was a pretty good like
That's good.
found
Yeah, we
footage.
haven't touched on very many horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not many. I
There's
mean,
not a lot that come out, but
Insidious actually came out that year, which I think
oh
was
yeah,
one of the best horror movies in a long time.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
between then and now, and then between like then and whatever the last previous good horror movie was. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's true.
Insidious was very good. I was impressed by that movie.
It was. I was also impressed with it. That movie. Had some really good like genuine scares in it. I was like, wow. It
Yeah, yeah.
was just so creepy.
And then actually one that kind of disappointed me in the fact that it never really went anywhere else was the girl with the dragon tattoo with Daniel Craig.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh, really? It was
Yeah.
good, but it never really because I know that's like a whole series of books and
Well, they came out. They came out with like a sequel recently. It's like a or another part of those books, like the girl in the spider's web or
yeah,
whatever.
I just don't know if it has like the same actress. I forget what her name
I
is.
I don't think so. I think she got replaced in the
Rooney
second one.
Mara is her name.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she's on
Rooney
the.
Mara.
They're on like the third movie, and they replaced her. I think after the first
Oh,
one.
really? Maybe that's why
Yeah.
I didn't care anymore because
Yeah.
Rooney Mara and Daniel Craig were great in that movie.
Right.
That's a good one to watch if you like kind of like suspense mystery type.
I do. Maybe I'll
Well,
give it a watch.
it's worth a watch. And then obviously the Priest came out that year, which I think we saw together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Which back then I found kind of underwhelming, but I actually
Yeah.
rewatched it recently and I thought it was actually pretty good. It was a pretty cool
Oh,
concept.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
I remember it being pretty meh as well. So.
I mean, Carl Urban's in it, so
Oh, is he? Nice.
he is in it. Yeah, so Carl Urban is in
That's
that
a.
movie.
It's always a plus.
Makes it worth watching by
Yeah,
itself, I'd say.
for sure.
And then I know we both like Paul because obviously
Yeah,
you can't beat Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
that
So
movie. I feel like that movie is wildly underrated.
for
Like
sure,
I think that it's so funny.
and Seth
And
Rogen voices the alien, right?
yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
great
And like
cast.
it, and it's about like people taking a trip to Comic Con, and with like how big comic movies and stuff are. I think it would. I feel like it would be bigger, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I feel like after like Shaun of the Dead and
Hot
Hot
Fuzz.
Fuzz, I feel like those guys' movies just kind of fell off, which is the shame because they're
Yeah,
all
because they're
always
still good.
usually pretty
Yeah,
good. Those guys have a great dynamic together,
they really
obviously.
do. They're really
Um,
funny.
yeah, so. But yeah, I think that kind of and then the Hangover Part Two came out that year, which Horrible
Eh,
Bosses came out that year,
Horror Boss
which
is a really good one,
pretty good
in my opinion.
comedies, but like,
Yeah,
eh,
yeah. They're nothing super crazy. They're
yeah,
good,
nothing
but
like they're good, but they're not like they're
they're not
not
like
like
hot. They're not like Hot Rod good.
yeah, they're not Hot Rod good or like super bad good or like anything
Right.
like that. They were good, but just I mean, obviously Hangover Part Two wasn't quite as good as the first one.
Yeah,
Um,
I still enjoy the first one, but I didn't think two or three was for good. So
well,
that's
two was better than three, but
yeah,
they
that's true.
just kind of got worse as they went. It was kind of one of those
Yeah,
things where it's like, all right, you guys got to knock it off now. But
very true.
and one last, well, Super 8 actually came out this year too, and Super 8 I think is worth mentioning
I do not
because
remember that movie at all. I know I
really,
saw it. I know it's about like an alien, but I can't remember.
that's I think that's James Cameron. So
Is it? Oh man, I might
I
have to.
think
I
so.
thought it was. I for some reason was
Maybe
thinking Steven Spielberg, but maybe it was a different one.
no, maybe it's not James Cameron. It's whoever did
Is it
whoever
J.J.
did
Abrams?
J.J. Abrams. That's the
Oh,
one.
okay.
That's the
Okay.
one. Yeah, James Cameron is Lord of the Rings, right?
No, James Cameron is like Terminator, and
Oh, right, right. Who does Lord of the Rings?
oh, that's oh god, why am I blanking on his name now that we're talking about it?
Dude,
Uh,
Joe is gonna kill us if
Joe's
he
yeah,
watches this.
Joe's gonna be so mad. Um, hold on. Uh,
God, he did Dead Alive. I know that.
yeah. Uh, oh, Peter Jackson.
There it is. There it
Oh
is.
my god,
Yeah,
I
he
was
did
like, I know it's not.
he did King Kong,
Uh,
I think.
yes, he did King Kong too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Peter
The Hobbit,
Jackson.
not
That's
stuff,
right.
obviously.
That's right. That's
So
right. Okay.
yeah. Oh
Gotcha.
god.
Got it. All right. But I think for me, that's pretty much the end of the list
Yeah, that's definitely the end of
on
mine
that
for
year.
2011.
So I definitely saw a lot of movies though, and
Yeah,
honestly, I think 2013 is my longest list. So
yeah.
um,
2012 hits pretty hard
yeah,
too. To
there's
be
some
honest,
good ones in here. So
2012 like oh my god, 21 Jump Street stands out really hard in
oh man,
this.
I love that movie, man.
So we haven't talked too much about comedies, but this is a top tier comedy in my
It
opinion.
dude, it is. It was like to me, it was like the next like it was like the next like super
It's like
bad type movie because
yeah,
like,
it's like the Borat where everyone was like quoting it all the time and
dude,
stuff.
just uh, Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum's dynamic in that movie was so good.
Right?
Like
This movie made me like Channing Tatum. So
same here because it was the same thing with Drive and Ryan Gosling for me. Like I was like, dude,
right,
Channing Tatum, like, dude, he's in fucking John Doe or whatever the hell. Dear, no, he was
right,
in that movie Dear John, which is another
yeah,
Nick Sparks movie. Which you might think I actually like those movies because I know a lot about who's in all of
right.
them and which ones they are. But um,
It's because good
but
people come from those movies. Doesn't mean they're good movies.
well, yeah, I
But
mean, I've obviously, I'm the kind of guy that'll go see a chick flick with a girl because they want to see it. So like,
oh yeah, I
so
see most things because other people want to see them. So it's like
exactly. But yeah, but obviously was a little bit biased towards Channing Tatum, and I was like, saw 21 Jump Street, and I was like, dude, this guy is hilarious, man, and I've loved
yes,
him ever since. So
yes, he's been very good. I'm sad he hasn't been in stuff really recently, but he might come
yeah.
back.
That's true. He really hasn't been in much. I think we kind of touched on this the other day when we were talking, but I
Yeah.
think the last thing I really remember being in was the Hateful Eight. So
Oh, yeah, true. I keep forgetting he's in that movie,
yeah, I mean
but
he's a pretty small role, but
yeah,
he's in it nonetheless. And
it's
my
true.
theory is he just kind of went, hey man, I made it into a Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna quit while I'm
he's
ahead.
good.
So
Yeah, I'm doing good. And he was in Kingsman there for a hot second,
he
but
was, yeah, right, and he was also in This Is the End
yeah, that was a
for a
a
second.
very good role. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
too.
we will get to that
And
nonetheless.
after 21 Jump Street, the next thing that kind of jumps. I mean, I'm only going to talk about this because it's actually a really big one. But the Avengers came out that
Yep,
2012
Avengers
first
came
Avengers
out,
movie,
kind of kicked off the
which
team. So
which was a dream movie for me and was
a lot
so
of
fucking
people,
good.
I
Yeah,
think.
so many people have been waiting to see these characters together on screen, and it was just better than I even expected. So,
Yeah, I think for a lot of people that kind of solidified like the whole MCU because
oh
like
yeah,
I think there was like Thor and then there was Iron Man and then there was they all in
Captain
Captain
America and all
America
that
they all had their like they all had their solo
solo.
movies but like was this really going to go anywhere? Were they popular enough? And the
Yep,
Avengers came out and everyone got to see them all like that one iconic shot where they all landed on that city street with the
and
panning
spinning
camera
around
around
him.
all of them.
Yep,
Yeah, I
yep,
think that really solidified like the MCU for a lot of people.
yep.
Um, so definitely, looks like my camera froze up on me here. What's going on?
Ooh. But yeah, it definitely set the pace, and God, it was just so good.
Hold
It's
on.
something I'll never forget going and seeing it in theater.
Yeah, I agree. There we go. We're back. We're back. But yeah, it was definitely a good movie. It was one of those. It's one of those movies I wish I would have got to see in IMAX, but
Oh
obviously
God, yeah,
in Erie we didn't have such luxuries. So
yeah. I've still never been to an IMAX, and I need to.
hey man, now that you live down near me, man, we will go because
Definitely.
we got them down here. Well, we got one. We used to have more than one, but there's only one now because the one that I saw Endgame at closed. So,
Oh
um,
God, I wish I could have seen
or
Endgame.
maybe it was Infinity War that I saw at the. I
Either
can't
one, I
remember,
would have
but yeah,
absolutely loved to see.
I saw one of them at the IMAX. So,
Hell yeah.
but for me, this year, one of the probably the biggest standout and one of my like favorite movies, a couple actually, um, would be Django Unchained.
Oh God,
Um,
Django Change is so good.
dude, I remember we went to go see this as a group on
Yeah,
Christmas, and
kind
I
of
didn't know,
thinking nothing of it.
dude, I didn't know a damn thing about this movie. I just knew
Yeah,
it was a Quentin Tarantino movie, and this was actually probably back in my like this was back in my like infancy of like really like getting into movies. Like I liked going to see movies, but like I didn't
yeah,
really take it that seriously. This is where I like really started like I started focusing on like directors and what they had. So
yeah,
I knew it was a Quentin Tarantino movie, but I don't really know if I had seen a lot of his catalog before this, other than like Kill Bill and stuff like that.
yeah. I'd seen like
And
Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, but
so like I didn't know really anything about this movie going into it, and like dude, I left that theater like it was like one of my favorite movies. Like at after seeing it right then and there, man, that movie was so good to me. I don't know what it was, but that movie actually turned me on to Jamie Foxx. I never really liked him that much before that movie, And then actually, that movie turned me on to. This is gonna probably trigger some people big time, but I wasn't really a big fan of Leo before that movie, and that movie made me a huge fan of Leo. Like, dude, Calvin,
Dude,
him
Leo's
as him as
incredible in that movie.
dude, him as Calvin Candy, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it made me like him so much. So, and then I think that was my first exposure to Christoph Waltz too.
Yeah, it was mine too, and
And
he's
dude,
so good.
I have loved him ever since that movie too, man.
Yep.
Um,
He's in very few not good things too, so.
that's true. I mean, he seems like he's an actor that picks his roles that are only good. So,
Right. Right.
um, and actually, another actor that's in that movie that I come to appreciate a lot more recently is Walton Goggins. He's in that movie.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
very good.
dude, I love that guy, man. And he's
Yeah, he's
actually
he's hilarious.
he's hilarious in that movie and in general.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
so funny, man. And honestly, I feel like Quentin Tarantino just stacks his movies, man.
he
Like,
really does. His movies
man,
always have crazy casts,
God, dude. And I'm always so excited to see who's going to be in his next movie. That's one
right?
of the things I love about Quentin Tarantino's movies is I'm just always excited to see who's going to be in this movie because
Right.
he always
There's
gets the
always some
best people,
surprises. Yeah,
dude. Oh man, yeah. And there are always some surprises, but man, he gets the best people in his movies.
he really does.
And actually, speaking of Quentin Tarantino, since this movie's outside of this range, I'm going to bring it up. But I watched Little Nicky recently, and Quentin Tarantino's in that movie. He plays the priest that's like blind and like it's going crazy when Nicky comes up from hell.
Yeah, I
And
did not realize that.
I was watching it the other night, like last week, and I was like, "Who that guy looks so familiar?" And I thought it could have been Quentin Tarantino, and I was like, "There's no way that's Quentin Tarantino. Like, why would he fucking be in this movie?" And I looked at IMDb, and sure as shit, Quentin Tarantino, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Dude, Adam Sandler gets Quentin Tarantino in his movies
Right?
apparently. So,
Jeez. Well,
but
that's when Adam Sandler was like at his peak too.
that's
So
true. Little Nicky was like, oh well, he was probably coming down from the peak
yeah, just a
after
little
Little
bit. Yeah,
Nicky,
yeah.
because I think Little Nicky was like after Big Daddy.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say it's in the Big Daddy era.
so it was like on the downward slope, I think. But and the other movie from this year that really is one of my favorites is Lawless.
Lawless is really good.
Dude,
It's the old Shia LaBeouf.
dude, absolute stack, man. Shia LaBeouf, one of my favorites. Tom Hardy, one of my favorites,
Yes.
dude. Guy Pearce, iconic.
Oh, Guy Pearce is so good.
Dude, that movie is just stacked to the brim. And who else? What lady's in that movie? Jessica
Oh,
Chastain.
yeah, Chastain. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in that movie, dude. Oh my god, it's so good. I love that movie. I saw it in
It
theaters.
is.
Like it was another one of those movies. It seems to be these movies where I like go see them in theaters and I have no idea what they're really even about.
Right.
And I just go see them because like the cast or because like my friends. Like I literally think I went to go see Lawless because Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf were in it, and I was like, I'm just gonna go see this,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it was
Sometimes it's all
so
it
good.
takes.
And even that guy from Planet of the Apes, I don't know what his name is, but he's in it too as the third brother, the guy with like the curly hair. Um,
Oh.
I forget his
Mm,
name, but
yeah, I forget his name too.
he's a good actor too. I really like him. He's also in like some of the the one unmentionable Terminator movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lawless was like another one of my favorites from this year, along with Django Unchained. But there's a lot
Oh
of good
yeah.
movies from this year, to be honest with
One
you.
one of the big ones that stands out to me in this year, which I think is still kind of under the radar for a lot of people because barely anybody I know has seen it, is that Chronicle, which is I don't know if you've seen Chronicle, but it's kind of it's one of Michael B. Jordan's like first movies.
Dude,
Um,
that's a good
where he
movie.
has like the superpowers.
Yeah, where they all get like the three of them get superpowers, and then like
Yeah,
the one of them like loses his mind and like
yeah.
can't
The one goes
handle it.
the kid who becomes Green Goblin in Spider
Yeah,
Man,
and the
but
Amazing Spider-Man
he's
too.
actually good in Chronicle.
Dude, he's actually overall a pretty good actor, but he's awful in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he really is.
He's awful in that movie, man. And it's
Yep.
probably just script and directing.
Oh yeah, just bad writing,
Just
I'm sure.
awful in that
Because Jamie
movie.
Foxx is in that movie too. Like that cast
Yeah.
is good, but the
Just
writing's just bad. But Chronicle was such a cool look at just like a more realistic take on like a superhero, like what if type
right,
thing.
yeah. Especially
And I
because
feel
it
like it's really under the radar. And I'm just like,
especially because it
people should
touched
see
on
this.
like the specific theme of like teenagers
Yeah,
becoming superheroes, like
right?
Honestly, in the real world, teenagers become superheroes. It wouldn't happen like the comics
Yeah,
where they're like,
it'd
I'm
be
gonna use
horrible.
this for responsibility, and it's like,
Yeah,
nah, man. They
they'd use it
probably end
to
up like in Chronicle.
yeah do pranks at first, and then people are getting hurt and just becoming villains and shit.
Dude, I actually need to
Yeah,
rewatch that movie because
it's good. It's on I want to say Amazon Prime.
that
I saw
sounds
because I
right.
put it on my list the other day.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
good. And then the other one I think stands out a lot for this is End of Watch.
dude, I'm glad you brought that up because that movie, dude, I don't care what anybody has to say about the police these days. End of
Yeah,
Watch is still a great movie, man.
dude,
It's
it's
so good.
incredible.
Jake Gyllenhaal, another one of my
Yep,
favorites.
Michael Pena.
He's good. Michael Pena is actually really good. He's kind of underrated
Yes,
in my opinion.
I agree.
Um,
I feel like he doesn't get the
so
roles he does, like a bigger roles he deserves.
yeah, I think you're right.
He's always a side character. It seems like.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, he was probably like a co-main character in this one, which was kind of nice to
Yeah, yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
because him and Jake Gyllenhaal were obviously partners.
Partners. Yeah,
Dude, I remember seeing that movie.
it
It's
really
just like, dude,
kills me.
very emotional movie, man.
Yeah,
Very much.
dude, I
If
was
you,
I was crying by the end of
dude,
that movie,
if you
dude.
have like close friends at all, man,
Yeah,
oh, it'll hit hard. Cause
dude,
like, dude,
uh,
it's insane, dude. That movie is
it
very
is.
good.
It's
And
so like gritty and like real.
right,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it feels like a legit like documentary,
yeah, right. And
and the acting is so good.
regardless of how you feel about the police and all that these days, I would say give it a watch. Just I I wouldn't say that it is one of those movies that like tries to glorify the police or anything. Um,
No, it just
so
shows them on duty and stuff. It's good. It's pretty brutal too. There's some brutal stuff in there. But the what's his name? The guy who plays Harper
yeah, he's in it.
is in that movie.
Um,
Yeah.
what's his name? I can't think of it right now. Oh man,
Mm, I feel like I know everyone's name until I really need to think
it's
about
on
it.
the tip of my tongue, man.
Plays Hellboy.
Something Harbor, I think.
David Harbour.
David
That's what it
Harbor.
is.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in that movie. He's really young in that.
Gets stabbed in the eye.
He does get stabbed in the
Ugh.
eye.
but yeah, I won't
uh,
spoil too much. I mean, there's not too much to spoil other than like the
and,
ending and stuff. But
and obviously it's 8 years
definitely,
old. So
yeah, definitely watch it if you can.
yeah,
So
if you've never
that
seen
is a
it,
good
that's
ass movie.
worth watching.
That's also, I think, on Amazon.
It
Pretty
might be. It
sure.
was on Netflix for a while, but it might not be
Yeah, it might
anymore.
still be.
Yeah, it could
I
be.
have like every fucking streaming service, so I can't remember what's on what,
Dude,
but it's
it's
on
so
one of
hard
them.
to remember which one's which. So
It's on one of them.
it sure is. And obviously, The Dark Knight Rises came out this year.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
I I don't know if I'm one of the few, but I just didn't like that movie that much, to be honest.
I want to say it was probably one of the weaker ones of the trilogy, but
Yeah,
um,
I think it's the weakest one in my opinion. But
I like Batman. Um, I like Christopher Nolan. So
yeah,
you know, just kind of like those movies. But I would
yeah,
definitely say that that was probably the weaker of the three. Obviously, The Dark Knight was probably the strongest one with Heath Ledger and
yeah,
as the Joker. So
yeah. That
um,
that was crazy. But and then I think the last one I'm going to touch on for this is the Raid. The Raid Redemption came out on this,
uh,
which is probably one of my favorite like martial arts movies of all time.
honestly, those are movies I have never seen. I've heard great
Really,
things about them, but I haven't seen
they're
them.
incredible. Like still, the first Raid movie is like my top three martial arts movies of all time, probably. It's
Okay.
really good, and just action movies in general. They're insanely well choreographed, so I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. I've heard you and Brett and pretty much everybody rave about them, but I never got to seeing them. So
That's
I'll
fair.
have to watch them.
Just take
Um,
the time. But yeah, anyone
yeah,
who's into high action or martial arts or anything definitely should.
yeah. There's a couple in here that I think are worth mentioning. Cabin in the Woods came out this year,
Oh yeah, incredibly good
which
movie.
has a lot of throwback to like Evil Dead stuff like that, and
It's really funny for what it
it's a
is.
good movie. It's very good. It's a very good
Chris
horror
Hemsworth's in
comedy.
that movie.
He sure is. He sure is. In the midst
It's
of
so
being
good.
in the middle of being Thor too. I
Yeah,
never really realized it until now, but this was like, because Avengers came out this year and
right.
Thor
He was at like the height of
Thor
his
came out the year
stuff right now.
before, so like I
Yeah.
think Thor 2 comes out in the next year.
Yep.
So like he was
We
I
don't talk.
guess
We don't talk about that one
yeah.
though.
Yeah. But yeah, Cabin in the Woods is good. If you like Sacha Baron Cohen, the Dictator came out this year.
Yep.
Was kind of underwhelming, but I still thought it was pretty funny.
I was sad.
Um,
I was sad Bruno didn't come out in any of these years because
oh, dude.
I thought it did, and I wanted to talk about it.
Well, we're talking about it anyway because look,
That's
you
true.
brought it up, dude. Bruno is so good,
Bruno is
dude.
fantastic.
We
I don't know.
saw.
I know a lot. Like nobody I know has seen it for the most
Oh,
part, minus
it's a
like us.
shame, dude.
But
We
it's
saw it in
so
theaters.
good.
I remember seeing that in theaters, and
Yeah, that should.
man,
It was so funny.
it was good. It was real good.
There's was that was the one that we got yelled at for laughing, wasn't it?
No, that was Step Brothers.
Oh, that was Step
That
Brothers.
was
Okay,
Step Brothers.
also understandable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, looking back,
I
probably
mean, yeah.
we were
I
a
mean,
bunch of
you shouldn't be yelling
dickheads.
at. Yeah. So yelling at people for laughing in a comedy is kind of dumb, but
Yeah, we were
whatever.
probably over the top a little bit, but
Probably. But
um,
yeah, Bruno's very underrated and super funny.
but one of the really underrated movies from this year that came out that I don't think a lot of people saw was this movie called God Bless America. Um,
I feel like I've seen that, but I
which
can't.
it was about this like grown man and then this like adolescent girl that just decided to say fuck everything and just went on like a killing spree together.
Oh, I
It
do
was
remember that.
it
Yeah.
was so weird, but it was good. It's pretty classic. It definitely flew under the radar, I think, for a lot of people.
Hmm.
It's worth a watch if you ask me.
I'm
But
definitely gonna have to rewatch it.
I do too. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
Right.
um, and then obviously for those who like it or don't, the first Hobbit came out this year.
Yeah.
A lot of people dump on those movies. I thought they were good for what they were.
Yeah. I still
Um,
enjoyed them.
I recently saw that they actually got released on 4K finally.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people's main complaints about those movies, they were recorded at like a really high frame rate, so they looked
Yeah.
like
It looked real
soap operas
awkward.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's because they were like the first like super high frame rate movies, and it just really didn't work too well. But I guess 4K, the 4K releases really kind of fixed that a lot, and they were described as feeling like movies finally, I guess.
Well, that's good.
So,
But again, yeah, I liked them. I feel like everyone just tries to compare them to Lord of the Rings, and nothing's gonna beat those movies. So
yeah, that's true. Very, very true. Um, and then Prometheus came out this year, which a lot of people didn't really like. I liked it. Um,
yeah, I thought it was all right. It was definitely better than Covenant, but in my opinion. But
and I never saw this movie myself, but for my homies, my brother and Joe, Journey 2 came out this year. I know they really like that
yeah,
movie.
I haven't seen that either. But
I
yeah,
didn't
I've
see it
heard
either, but
heard from them it's good.
I
So
remember them ranting and raving about it back then, and that's when The Rock did his famous peck popping. He was popping cherries off his pecs, and
yep.
oh yeah. So I just had to bring
uh,
that one up for shout out to those guys because I know they like that movie a lot. And
right. I know a lot of people give this movie flack, but Men in Black 3 came out.
dude,
I like that movie
I
a
like
lot.
that movie a lot, man. It
Yeah.
was
I cry at the end of that
it was
movie, man.
emotional
I
as
hurt.
hell, man.
It hurts.
It was emotional as hell. It
Josh
was,
Brolin. Love me some Josh Brolin.
dude, me too, man. He's great. He is
Is.
great. But yeah, I think the only other one I wanted to mention, well, since we didn't really talk about any horror movies, this besides Cabin in the Woods, the first VHS came out this year,
Those are cool movies.
which I thought was really cool concept.
Yeah, it is.
And that first one was really good in my opinion. Some of them ended up being not so great, but
Yeah,
um,
I didn't see like the VHS like viral or something.
yeah, there was like a viral. Actually, that one wasn't bad, but there was a second one. I think there was a third one and then viral, or maybe viral was the
Okay.
third one. I don't remember, but the second one was actually pretty good too. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, it's worth a
I've only
watch.
seen the first one, so maybe I'll
Okay,
give it a
yeah,
look.
yeah. The second one's worth a watch.
All right.
And then if you're into James Bond, Skyfall came out this year too, which was pretty good.
Yeah, that
Um,
was that was a good one.
And then if you like Liam Neeson, who's like the same guy in every movie,
The Gray.
The Gray came out this year, which was pretty
Though
cool.
I think yeah, I was gonna say though I think that movie's really good.
Where he's like where they get trapped out in the woods with those wolves.
Yeah, they're like trapped in the snow and they're just like
Yep,
fucked pretty much.
that was a pretty cool movie. I liked it.
Yeah,
Um,
that was very unexpected. I really liked that movie.
and actually, uh, one that I really liked that a lot of people didn't like, and I'm pretty sure that you didn't either, because we talked about it, was Man with the Iron Fists came out this year. Um,
No, I actually really liked Man with
oh,
the Iron
did you?
Fist.
Okay.
That was
I
great.
know a
Yeah,
lot of people hate on that movie, but dude,
I think that movie's the
I
RZA did that movie. That movie's
dude,
great.
I loved it, man. Dude,
It's so cheesy and
when that
amazing.
first scene opened up and there was like this hard ass rap soundtrack to this martial arts dude, I was
Yep,
like, dude, this movie is
this is
sick,
good,
man. And it was like
right?
produced by Quentin Tarantino or something. So,
Yeah, it
um,
was like the RZA and Quentin Tarantino,
yeah. So I was like, man, this is great. I thought
and
it was awesome.
Dave Bautista's in that
He
movie.
sure is. He sure
Got
is.
some gold ass arms.
It was like no, he was like gold ass body, dude.
Oh, was it? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, man, his whole body was gold. I'm pretty sure. And um, yeah, man, I think that was like one of his breakout roles too, if I'm not
Yeah, it's
mistaken.
like the first thing I remember him in
Yeah.
outside of like
So,
wresling.
so I like that movie a lot, man. I thought it was
Yeah, me
sick.
too. The movie that came out this year that I absolutely hated was Ghost Rider 2. I went to the movie. I went with Nick to see this in the dollar theater and didn't and wanted my dollar back. I hated this
I
movie. I thought it
wanted my
was so
dollar back.
bad. Yeah, I legitimately thought that when it was over. I was like, that's not worth a dollar. I didn't like that movie at all.
speaking
But
of
man,
speaking of Nicolas Cage, previous year the movie Drive Angry came out, and that's a movie where I wanted my money back because
yeah,
the
I've
movie
heard
was
bad things
the
about
movie
that.
was awful. But
Yeah,
Brett loved that movie for some reason, and it was terrible.
Brett likes a lot of things. It's all right to have an open palate, but man,
It is all
it's
right.
crazy.
I mean I'm sure I like my fair of share of things that aren't good.
Oh, yeah, same here,
So,
believe me.
but
Oh
and
god.
then some of the other mentionables are just like Life of Pi came out this year. That was a pretty cool movie.
I
Um,
actually hated that movie.
oh
I
really?
actually did not like that movie at all.
No,
It's a
I could
lot
see
of
that.
people love that
I could
movie,
see that.
but I could not get through it.
It was just a dude stuck on a boat, so I can
Yeah,
understand.
I just got so bored in that movie. I was like, I was like, I hope the tiger eats this kid,
Yeah,
please.
and
But
Looper came out this year.
I like Looper a lot.
I thought it was cool. I mean, you can't go wrong with some JGL and some Bruce
Yeah,
Willis.
Bruce Willis. That was
So,
before he like stopped caring about acting. I feel like so.
dude, I actually watched a video on that movie recently too, and apparently a lot of what they did with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face was actually makeup and not CGI.
Really,
Yeah.
that's really
So
crazy then.
they did use some CGI, but I think they did a lot of makeup to make him look like Bruce Willis at a younger age, which was strange for them to do, in my opinion. I thought that was one of the
Yeah,
strangest things of that movie, but it
that
was
was
still pretty cool.
interesting.
Cool concept. Um,
Yeah,
anything
really
dealing
unique.
with time travel is always kind of cool, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, it's always at least interesting.
and then some of the other ones, if you're into animated movies, the Lorax came out this year.
Hey, old Danny
Um,
DeVito.
and Ed Helms is in it too. That's exactly
Oh, he
why
is. Yeah,
we went to go see that movie. At least me and I think maybe Joe and my brother, definitely my brother.
yeah.
We went to
I
go
didn't
see
see
it.
it in theaters. I don't think.
We went and saw it in theaters because like we were all obsessed with Ed Helms because we were all obsessed with his character Andy in The Office
Yeah,
at
in
this
The
point in
Office.
time.
Yeah,
So like we were obsessed with Ed Helms by proxy. So he was in the
fair.
Lorax. So we went to go see it just because he was in it. And it
That's
was actually a
understandable.
pretty good movie too. So um, uh, that movie was all right. If you're
Did you see? Did you
if
see
you're,
Cloud Atlas?
I didn't actually see that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a fantastic
is that
movie.
the movie about time travel?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It's with Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, and a bunch of other people, but it's like them playing like four different roles in the movie, but it's all like different time periods.
No, I didn't see that one.
It's really good.
That came out this year.
Yeah, in 2012.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's on a streaming service again. I've
Oh,
seen it, but
it's somewhere. Yeah.
it's also like 3.5 hours long.
Oh,
So just so
nice.
you know.
And for anybody who's into like drama and kind of like romance stuff, Silver Linings Playbook came out this year. That's a really good movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
Um,
have not seen it.
it's good. It's got Bradley Cooper, and Jennifer Lawrence,
Right. Yeah.
and actually Chris Tucker's in it too.
Chris Tucker. Huh. Huh.
Yeah, he's looking old as hell in that movie, but he's in it nonetheless.
That's good.
And
It's a plus.
another, if you like dramas, and if you like Wes Anderson, Moonrise Kingdom came out this year too,
Very nice.
which was a good movie. Classic Wes Anderson movie. Edward Norton's in it. So,
That's good.
um, and I think that's pretty much it. The only other one was Premium Rush, which was kind of like a sleeper. It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in it, and he was like a bike messenger. And
Oh, okay.
Michael Shannon's actually in it too.
Oh, nice.
And he plays the villain, and it's a good movie. It's kind of like just kind of like a popcorn movie, but it's good. Um,
All right.
that's probably my last really big mention. If anybody likes the Hunger Games, that came out this year too.
Right.
Uh, but man,
Yeah. That's stuff like Wreck-It Ralph's came out too, and uh, That's My Boy came out and stuff. But it's like nothing too else too crazy.
all right, so we are on to 2013 now. This is like
13.
one of the bigger of my lists here.
Yeah, this is a weird year for me
Oh yeah,
personally. There's good ones, but there's also some weird ones. Like one that stands out to me as very weird is the movie 43 came out this year.
it.
I don't know. Have you seen that one?
I I remember that one coming out. I don't think I ever saw it, man. I
It's
heard,
so weird.
I heard about it, and it just sounded so haggard to me, and I was like, you know
It's
what?
incredibly haggard.
I'm not gonna see that. I know like Hugh Jackman is in it, and like
So many people are in this. There's like Chris Pratt, Hugh Jackman's in it, and the hell's her name? The chick from Scary Movies. Um,
oh, that lady, the blonde girl.
yeah,
Eh,
she's in it.
uh,
Halle Berry's in it.
dude,
There's just it's just a stacked cast, but it's just all these weird little skits
yeah, it was like
that
a
are just
weird.
super weird.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of strange.
Yeah,
I never
and
dabbled in that one. So
yeah, it was,
yeah,
it was just one that stood out to me as very strange.
that one pretty strange.
Yeah.
And one of them that's strange but good was where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, Her was
Her is
one
a
that was
fantastic movie.
very strange but very good.
Yeah.
Because obviously it deals with the whole like guy falling in love with the AI
Yep.
girlfriend, which
Scarlett Johansson.
I don't blame him. I mean, she's voiced by Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson, so. uh, but yeah, that movie was strange but good. So
Yes, it was
um,
very good. It was very emotional too. Like
I mean,
Joaquin Phoenix was super good in that movie.
yeah, man, I feel like he's one of those actors that's like everybody knows he's super good, but he's still like underrated. Like
Yeah, it is weird.
it's like he's deliberately underrated. It's super weird.
Because I feel
It's
like he's not in very much,
yeah,
but he like should be.
but whenever
Yeah,
he is in something, it's like
he's really good. Yeah,
where's this guy been? So
right.
like, yeah, man. But yeah, that movie is really good. I have to watch it again actually because it's been a while since I watched it. But honestly, right off the bat, right out the gate, I have to bring up Evil Dead. The Evil Dead remake came
Yep,
out this year.
very good.
I loved it. As a fan of the original trilogy, huge fan, like one of my favorite all time trilogy of movies. I love this movie. I don't really understand what issue people had with it. Um,
Yeah, it felt like what Evil Dead was trying to be originally. So
right.
I don't know.
I think people forget that like Sam Raimi wanted his first Evil Dead movie to be a serious horror movie,
Right.
but obviously it was a college project. He didn't have probably didn't have really any budget at all.
Yeah.
Um, you
He had
know,
Bruce Campbell
he had Bruce
though.
Campbell. That was his ace in the hole. Little did he know.
Right.
But I really think the remake is what he wanted his original to be.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate the fact that we got to see some of what Sam Raimi wanted his movie to be. You know,
Yeah. And even I
over the top, scary, gory movie, which is
yeah.
what the remake was. So
And I think even like as a solo, like if it wasn't Evil Dead as a solo like horror movie, it's good.
yeah,
Like
it was definitely awesome. And
It's just even better because it is like the Evil Dead.
yeah, exactly. And I remember going. I remember being so hyped up for this movie, and I went to go see it like a midnight release. Um, I was very satisfied with it.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that there's supposed to be a sequel to it, um, or not necessarily a sequel, but there's supposed to be an Evil Dead 4 uh,
Yeah, there's they've
coming
been
out.
talking about that.
Because Army of Darkness wasn't technically an Evil Dead movie, so the next
True.
Evil Dead coming out would be Evil Dead 4. I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, I love that movie. Definitely one of my standouts from this year because I was just so hyped up on it.
Right? Understandable. It's 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 not super often you get a good horror movie in general, in my opinion, like in theaters,
Right.
but especially when you do with something like this, it's
Yeah.
definitely stands out.
It's not. Yeah. It's not often you get a good horror movie on its own, let alone a good remake of a horror
Right?
movie. Because usually
Yeah.
remakes are worse than the original,
Right?
which is saying something usually. So,
Yep.
um, but yeah. So that's one of the big standouts for me this year.
Yeah, that's definitely a very big one. Did you ever see the ABCs of Death?
I didn't see that one.
I
No.
really like that. I think that's a pretty underrated movie too. Basically, the concept is 26 different directors got a letter, and they had to do like a short horror skit about it, and
I
it's really cool because everyone's done in like a different style.
Yeah, I did hear
It's
about
really neat.
how I knew the concept of it. I just never saw it because I feel like I never heard much about it. So
I know.
um,
Yeah, I feel like it flew under the radar, and it's really good.
yeah, I knew of it, but I didn't really hear. I knew of it and its concept, but I didn't really hear one
Mm,
way or the other if it was any good.
That's fair. I
So
definitely recommend it if you get the chance. It's on Netflix. I know for sure.
okay, I'll have to check that one out then.
Yeah.
I do see it on there all the time, and I'm like, never really heard much about this one. So,
Good. That's fair.
but I think one of the obvious like standouts from this year would have to be Wolf of Wall Street,
That yeah, for
the
sure.
movie where Leo
Good.
should have won his first Oscar but didn't for some
Agreed.
reason. Like I don't know
Agreed.
what happened there. I really
He's in
don't.
because he's not allowed to until he did. But
Yeah, until a movie where we'll get to it, but until a movie that
yeah,
was good, but I really don't know if it was his best. I'll be
yeah.
honest with you, but
I didn't think so either, to be honest.
so like, but
We'll
yeah,
get there.
but either way, Wolf of Wall Street was amazing. Obviously,
Yes.
I remember seeing that was another one of those movies that I saw in theaters where I didn't really go into it knowing what it was about at all.
Mm. I just saw it
And
because of Leo. I
yeah,
was like, I like Leo.
well, yeah, that was the other reason why, because I was in my I actually like Leo now. And the cast is stacked too, man. You got Jonah Hill,
Oh, it
Matthew
is. Yeah.
McConaughey is in there. The one guy from My Name is Earl. He used to be a fat
Oh
guy,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
lost a
yeah.
lot of weight and actually is like super jacked now. I
Yeah.
forget his name. He's also in American History X and Butterfly
Yeah.
Effect. Um,
Yep. He's in
so
uh uh oh god. Why can't I think of it now? Evolution.
oh yeah, dude,
He's in that movie too.
that movie
I
is
love
like
that movie.
that's a sleeper right there too. I think
Yeah.
very
That's a very good
underrated in my opinion.
Sean William Scott. Oh, it's a good ass crew. But
Yeah,
another one I think really stands out, which also I feel like not a lot of people have seen, at least from people I talked to, is Prisoners.
dude, I love
Came out
that
that year.
movie, man. I love
Yeah,
that
that's
movie.
an incredible movie. Like I think it's easily one of the best like suspense thriller movies I've ever seen. And the
Yep,
cast is super good too. It's
dude.
Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
It's like, oh god, it's so
And
good.
then the kid who plays like the
Uh,
purported, I forget his name, but
yeah,
he plays like the same passive character in everything he's in.
yeah,
I forget his name all the time, but um, yeah, that movie is so good, man. I actually forgot that Jake Gyllenhaal was in that movie for a second.
yep,
He plays the detective though, who has like a
yes,
weird twitch.
yep.
um,
That's true.
yeah, that movie was super good, man. Hugh
It
Jackman's
was.
performance was crazy in that movie.
It was. It was amazing. It
Um,
was what I would assume like any dad in that situation would be. He'd be like, what the fuck? Just like losing his mind essentially.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Especially with what actually happens in the movie. But
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
yeah, that
yeah,
movie was super good.
that's a good point. That was definitely one of the better movies from that year.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, Dallas Buyers Club was Oscar winning, so that's
I never actually saw that.
that's really good. It's very good. Matthew McConaughey is like on a whole nother level in that movie.
Is this when he started like shooting up in his career? Or was that before this?
Yeah, I don't think he ever did that. Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, like because he was always known for being like in the romance stuff.
Oh, shooting up. You mean like getting popular? I thought you meant like
Yeah.
shooting up as in like drugs. Like he started
No,
like
no, no, no.
shooting up drugs. I was like,
No,
what?
like his career was launching like
I
crazy. Yeah.
I think so. I think it was kind of a slow build up because he was in stuff like I don't remember what year it came out, but it was before this. I think he was like in the Lincoln Lawyer,
Oh, right.
and
Okay.
he was in like Killer Joe and stuff. And so I think he started to like kind of ramp up away from like the chick flick stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then Dallas Buyer because I think the Lincoln Lawyer was an Oscar winning movie too. Um,
Oh, nice.
but yeah, he started to obviously like ramp up like crazy, because I think he actually won an Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club. Um, but that movie is really good. It's worth watching.
I'll definitely have to look it up. It's one I never think of, so I'll have to.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good.
Very
I would
nice.
definitely check it out.
Did you see where was it? What was I looking at? Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Is that the one where he has like a doppelganger or something?
Yeah, he has like a twin.
I don't think I
You know
actually
about
ever saw that one.
that one's really weird, but it's really good. Because there's like a weird twist at the end
Oh, really?
that I won't
Okay.
give away for you, but it's really good.
I'll have to
No,
check that one out. It's on one of the 1,000 streaming services that I'm subscribed to because I've seen it a few times, I
yeah,
think.
right.
And I always think about watching it and then I never do. So um,
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out because Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorites as well. So ever since Donnie Darko. So
Yep. Understandable.
yeah. So um, another actually good horror movie that came out this year was The Conjuring came out this year.
Oh, did it? Yeah, that
Um,
Conjuring is really good.
that was another movie like Insidious that really kind of blew me away. Um, although, oh my god, man, it kind of was almost ruined for me though, because like me and my brother went and saw it in theaters,
Right.
but um, the guy who plays the dad in that movie plays the character Peter in Office Space. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, me and my brother were losing it the whole time because all we can see that guy in as is Peter from
Peter
Office
Man.
Space. Yeah, Peter Man. Watch out for your cornhole, bud. Like,
Right.
oh man. Uh, so it almost kind of got ruined because that was our own fault because we just like were like cracking up the whole time and
Right.
envisioning
That's fair.
Office Space. But other than that, though, obviously it was a great horror movie.
True.
Was pretty spooky and whatnot, which you don't really see a lot of these days. A lot of it's just like jump
Jump scares.
scares.
Yeah.
They don't try to create like an atmosphere, which is a lot more scary than a jump scare. A jump scare isn't
Yeah.
real fear; it's just like being
Yeah.
startled.
Just a
So
reaction.
yeah, right,
Just a weird reaction.
right. So
This
I
year
was
also had oh, sorry. What's
no,
that?
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say this year also had Pacific Rim,
Yeah,
which is also a really good Guillermo del Toro,
yes,
just quickly becoming one of my favorite directors.
yeah. He does a
But
lot of crazy stuff. He's got one
yeah,
coming
he
out
does
called
weird stuff, which
He's
I
got
like.
one out coming out called Antler that's supposed to be out.
Yeah,
That
it
looks
looks
it
really
looks
good.
crazy, man. I can't wait for
Mm,
that one. But
yeah,
yeah, Pacific Rim was good. It was definitely like super hyped up, but it was kind of like it kind of like met the hype. It was worth
yeah.
the hype.
I believe it. It's
So
just a big goofy romp. It's like a big fun dumb movie, and I love it.
yeah,
Just
I mean,
robots fighting monsters, man. That's all.
it's like the
What
epitome of like a popcorn movie, man.
right?
Like, but
That that
but
movie.
it was good. I mean,
Yeah, that movie. The cast is also stacked in
yeah,
that movie.
Idris Elba's in it.
Is
Isn't Charlie Hunnam in it or
Yep,
something like
he's in
that?
that.
Yeah.
Charlie Day's in that. Ron Perlman's in that movie.
Charlie Day is in that movie. That's
Yeah,
right.
Ron Perlman.
Doesn't he get like doesn't he like get like covered in kaiju goop at some point
Yeah,
or
and he can
something?
like see what they're thinking or whatever
Uh,
because of it. Then
oh man,
Rob Perlman gets eaten.
big
That's a
ass
good.
big ass face, Ron Perlman.
Yep,
His
I love
face is
Ron
so
Perlman.
big. What the
It
heck?
is. I
His
love him.
teeth
It's
are so
great.
big.
They
But
really are.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was definitely a good one. Another one kind of in that vein of like action. Elysium came out that year with Matt
I've I,
Damon.
I've actually never seen that. I've heard
Really?
really good things about that movie, but I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. I think it's worth a watch. It's a cool concept with
That's
the whole.
that's the guy who did like District 9 and stuff, right?
It might be.
I
It might
think it
be.
is.
Yeah, like
Because
District
I
9
remember wanting
and
to see it just
Chappie.
because I love District 9 and I really like Chappie too. But
Yeah, that'll be up. It's coming up in a couple years. But
yeah.
yeah, I did like Chappie. But yeah, that one was a good one. I would definitely say to check that one out. One that was kind of a sleeper for me was this movie called Killing Season. Um,
Hmm. I've never seen that.
it's Robert De Niro and John Travolta.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's about Robert De Niro's like a retired military guy who did some stuff in like Soviet Russia, and like uh, John Travolta's character is like seeking him out for revenge, but
Really?
he finds him out in his like cabin in the woods and like befriends him before he tries to like kill him.
Hmm.
And then they like like fight with each other, you know, out in the woods. It's actually pretty good.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean Robert De Niro, John Travolta, it's pretty good. I would definitely say it's worth a watch. I definitely say it went under the radar because it's like obviously very obscure. So
Yeah, that's fair.
well, maybe
Yeah,
not
I'd
very
never heard of
obscure,
it.
but I've never really seen anybody talk about it. So
Yeah, that's fair. Then what else? There's something specific I want to talk about in this one. Well, the old boy remake came out
yeah,
this
with
year
Josh
too.
Brolin. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I liked. It's not as good as the original, but
yeah.
it's,
I mean,
in my opinion at least. But
it
I
was
still liked it.
it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to watch a movie with a super fucked up twist,
Yep.
this one or the
Very
original
much
one
so.
are worth it
Yep.
because the twist stays the same. So, um,
Yes.
I would definitely check either of those two. Obviously, if you can watch the original Korean Old Boy,
Yeah.
watch
Definitely
that
watch
one
that one.
first because it's
Yeah.
like next level good.
Yes,
Um,
it is. It's incredible.
but if you can't get your hands on it or can't watch it for some reason, the Old Boy remake with Josh Brolin is good enough, I guess.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And did you see Man of Tai Chi?
no, I didn't.
That came out this year. It's a really cool martial arts movie, but the weird kind of the weird not twist, but element of it is that Keanu Reeves is like the bad guy in it. And he's really good as it in this movie.
I'll
It's
have
just a
to.
martial arts movie with Keanu Reeves as being the bad guy.
You said it's the Man of Tai Chi.
Yeah,
It sounds
it's really
familiar, but I don't think I ever saw it.
it's quite good. It's very entertaining at least. The ending fight is really cool.
All right, I'll have to check that one out.
Yes.
I
That's
don't know.
pretty much all I have for 2013.
Oh, really? Jeez, I got like a couple more I want to touch on.
That's fine.
Did you see? Did you see Charlie Countryman at all?
Yeah, that's a
With
fantastic movie.
Shia
I
LaBeouf?
didn't
That's
realize that
like
came out this year.
that's like a sleeper too. I feel like
Yeah.
no one's ever seen that movie or watched it.
Yeah,
So,
that's a really good movie.
um,
There's a streak I was on where I was just watching like Shia LaBeouf movies.
yeah, hey man, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. The second Hobbit movie came out this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Old
if you like,
Smaug.
if you like Superman, Man of Steel came out this year. Um, another one that was a sleeper and kind of underrated. Oz the Great and Powerful came out this year.
That is a very
Um,
underrated movie.
if you like James Franco and you like The Wizard of Oz, give it a watch. I'd say. Um,
Yes.
Pain and Gain came out this year. I
That's
liked it
a,
just
that
because
that movie's great.
the cast is stacked. It's a strange movie, but Mark Wahlberg, The Rock, Anthony Mackie. I mean, that was my introduction to Anthony Mackie, and
I
I've
think it
liked
was
him
mine
ever
too.
since. Um, so it's a good movie. I
It
liked
is.
it. Let's see. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty was really good too.
I've never seen that.
That's Ben Stiller's in that. Pretty
Really?
good. Yeah.
I miss Ben Stiller. I wish he was in things
I know,
still.
man. I know.
He's so funny. mean, he was in
Yeah,
something recently,
he
but
was. He
for a
was
minute,
one of the
for a hot
best.
second.
One of the best roles he's ever been in. He
Yep,
reprised it. So
agreed.
he re-reprised it. So
Mm.
and then This Is the End came out this year,
Oh my God, so good.
which is a
And
movie that I really did not like when I saw it in theaters, but then I rewatched it when it came out to DVD, and then I like fell in love with it. So
right, yeah, I really liked it when it came out originally, but I liked it just more and more the more I watched it. It's so funny.
yeah, dude, I remember
That
watching
cast
like,
is crazy,
oh, the cast is unreal, man. Just like so many cameos. Like Emma
right?
Watson is in it
All
at one point.
cameos.
Like
Craig
just like
Robinson's in it.
Craig Robinson's in it. Just like
Aziz
like
Ansari.
like I feel like
Uh,
like Rihanna's in it or
yeah,
something, man.
Rihanna's in it.
Michael Cera's in it. Like
Michael Cera's in it. All
so
the
many.
usual Pineapple Express crew.
Yeah, exactly. But the one memory I have from that movie was actually watching like the deleted scenes at Brett's house one night.
Right.
And there's a deleted scene or like an extended scene of the part where James Franco and Danny McBride are talking about like jizzing all over James
Oh
Franco's like
god.
porn magazines.
Yeah,
And there's just like a 20-minute tirade of them talking about like
that's so funny.
jizzing all over the place.
Because I think that's all improv. I'm pretty
And
sure.
think it is. Oh, it absolutely is because it's like a
Yeah.
20-minute tirade of them just going back and forth. There's no way
That's so
there's no way
funny.
it's
Yeah.
scripted, and it was
Right.
like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um,
That whole scene just kills me every time. Dropping loads all over this place.
it gets even crazier in these deleted
Uh,
scenes section,
oh
man.
god.
It's I want to find the deleted scenes just so I can watch that again because
Just hold on to it like it's a fire hose and just
it's
pray to
hilarious.
God it doesn't get in your eyes.
Dude, I love
Uh,
Danny McBride, dude.
dude, he
I
is
love Danny McBride. He's
hilarious.
so funny, man. He's
Have
so
Have you
funny.
watched Vice Principals?
I have.
Oh my god, it's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I have to continue. I kind of stopped, but
Mm.
him and Walton Goggins together, man.
Oh yeah, great
Which
crew.
they're also together in the Righteous Gemstones, but
Yes.
those are probably like a topic for a different
Yeah.
episode. So
We could do a TV
yeah, do
episodes.
some TV stuff. But really, the only other couple that I had to touch on were World War Z was pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't too
If you
bad.
like zombie stuff, if you like Brad
Like
Pitt,
Brad
I like
Pitt.
Brad
Yeah.
Pitt, so
Yeah.
um, him and zombies, not a bad combo.
Not
And
at all.
then the only other one was kind of another like under the radar. You're Next came out this year,
I
which
never
was
saw that, but I heard it
it
was
was
good.
like a if you like The Strangers, it's kind of similar to that.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. It's just one of those classic like these people are trying to break into your house violently and they're wearing
Right.
masks and you have to defend yourself. So it's pretty good.
Very nice.
But yeah, I think that was probably it for me for that year.
I
Um,
actually have one more that I thought about this year that I forgot to mention. Did you see the movie Monsters?
mm,
Uh, it's it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's basically this one place. I think it's in South America. Like these aliens kind of land and just kind of stay inhabit this one portion of like South America.
okay.
And it's about and it's all blocked off so people can't go in there, but they kind of stay in there so they're not too worried about it. But it's about these two people who are trying to it's about one girl that's trying to pass through that zone that has like the aliens and stuff in it, but she gets like a person to help her travel, like a guide, and it's about them like avoiding getting caught while they're in there and stuff, and like dealing with like the creatures that are in there, and it's
Okay.
really cool.
Interesting.
It's pretty wild.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's very underrated in my opinion too. But there was a sequel, but it was terrible.
Oh.
So don't watch it. It's called Dark Continent, and it's bad.
Oh, all right. Actually, we didn't really talk about Anchorman 2 at all.
That's true. I liked Anchorman 2 a lot. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but I still think it was really funny.
Agreed. Yeah, I didn't think it was quite as good as the first one, but it was still pretty funny.
Yeah, like that again. That crew, that cast is completely stacked with all hilarious
Yeah,
people. So
yeah. About
it
Paul,
makes sense.
you got Paul Rudd in there. I mean,
Yeah. Steve Carell, you got
Steve Carell, Will
Will
Ferrell,
Ferrell.
obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good movie. It was
was.
funny for what it was. But
Mm.
the only other last one was this documentary called Blackfish, which was about
I remember hearing about that.
the killer whales at SeaWorld.
Oh.
and how like awfully they're treated
Yeah, I remember hearing about
made
that.
me. I'm never ever gonna go to SeaWorld ever again after watching that.
Yeah,
Like,
I bet.
dude, they treat those animals like complete dog shit, and like
Yeah, it's so horrible.
it was the saddest thing I think I've ever watched in my life because like those
I don't think
animals
I
are
could watch it.
they're extremely smart, so like
Yeah,
they can probably know
they
that they're
understand what's going on. Yeah,
experiencing the pain, and it was
yeah,
horrible. But if you are interested in being educated about, uh, in a sad way, about the killer
the
whales at
treatment.
SeaWorld, yeah,
Yeah,
Blackfish is definitely that was like one of the like hype movies of that year because everybody was watching it. So
yeah, it's
um,
true.
worth a watch. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for 2013 for me. Minus Grown Ups
Yep,
2 actually came out that year too. So
that is a good one.
um, you know, another return to form for Adam Sandler,
Yes,
as always. So
for sure.
um, yeah, so that was 2013.
Yeah, so we can move on to 2014, which also has a lot of good movies.
Yeah, there's some pretty good ones. My list is a little bit short, but not
Yeah,
it's not as long as
I
2013
think.
was. But
Yeah, I think my. I mean, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I'm only gonna mention because it's like my favorite, like my top three Marvel movies.
it was good.
But bring that out. But I think my favorite movie of this, and Guardians came out too, which was really good.
Yes, Guardians came out, which was kind of like I think it was like a sleeper initially where people weren't really
Yeah,
expecting much, and then it was like amazing. I
yeah, it
remember
was
seeing it
incredible.
and I was like
Soundtrack was incredible.
just like blown away by that movie.
Mhm. The actors and everything was just
Oh
crazy. The
yeah,
music was perfect.
that was kind of like my big intro to Chris Pratt because I never really got into Parks and Rec too much, so I didn't really
Yeah,
see him in much else.
I
But
loved him. I loved Parks and Rec, so I was up on him already. But he was fantastic in there. And like this is the first movie where I downloaded the soundtrack for it. So,
yeah, I mean, very classic soundtrack.
Mhm.
So
but yeah, and then a big one for me on this year is Whiplash.
yes, Whiplash, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that had me like on the edge of my seat as much as that movie, which is
Yeah,
weird because it's just like a drama,
yeah, it's
but it
just
was
like a
so tense.
yeah, it was almost like a thriller, like how tense it was.
It was like borderline thriller, man. And just
That
like,
movie, J.K. Simmons is
dude,
so good in that
so good.
he
Dude, he's so good in general, man. I love
he
J.K.
really
Simmons.
is. Like everything he's in is fantastic.
I love
Well,
J.K.
he's
Simmons,
fantastic
man.
at least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love him.
Mm.
But Miles Teller was amazing
He
in that
is.
movie too,
Yeah.
man.
Holy crap.
That actually turned me on to Miles Teller. Like I never
Mm.
really saw him in much. He was actually kind of one of those actors who was also in like those nondescript, like stupid chick flick movies or like
Yeah.
weird teen dramedies and stuff. And then he was
Yep.
in this movie, and I was just like, "Who's this guy,
What?
man? He's
Yeah.
great."
He is amazing. And then he was in the bad Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, he
So
was. Fan Four Stick.
yep. Ugh. But yeah,
That
Whiplash.
movie,
Whiplash is a movie I recommend to people like still to this day all the
dude.
time. Like, have you seen this movie? This movie's amazing. Do
It's very good.
you
I
like music? Do you like anything suspenseful or drama? It's really good.
Oh yeah. Yep, that movie was fantastic. And then obviously Interstellar came out this year.
Ooh, that's the big monster this year.
That's
I
the
feel
big
like.
monster. That's like
Yeah.
that's like one probably like the standout film for me.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie, man.
Dude, it's such a standout piece of cinema. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Just
like scientific accuracy notwithstanding, like I don't know how big of a brain Christopher Nolan has, but it must be pretty fucking big, man.
he's always making crazy stuff, and like
Because
this
this
is just like next level.
all his movies except for maybe the Batman movies because like Batman's already like an existing thing. All of
Right.
Christopher Nolan's movies are like original stories. Like
Yeah.
this isn't something he remade or like is based off of this book or is
Right.
based off of this or that. Man, it's based off of what he has in his brain, which is like a lot of we don't have a lot of that anymore. I feel like
Yeah.
in movies is like original
Agreed.
stories that's not like because even like Quentin Tarantino like a lot of his stuff's like original stories but like he like I don't want to say copies like he
He has a
throws a
lot of
lot he
influence.
throws a lot of homage to like stuff that has already existed like a lot of his
Yeah.
like film set like scene setups or like you know
Yeah.
homages to something else, a
Yeah.
movie that he likes. But like a lot of Christopher Nolan stuff is just like straight up original as far as I understand it.
Oh yeah.
And like it's just crazy. And I have to have a lot of I feel like everyone should have a lot of appreciation for that. Whether
Yep.
I know because a lot of people hate on Christopher Nolan for unknown reasons to me, but I think a lot of people should at least acknowledge that he's one of the few directors out there putting out original content that's
I
not
agree. Yeah.
a remake of this or that or based on this or that. So
Yeah. Whether you like the movies or not, you can't really doubt that or deny that he's really doing things that other people aren't.
yeah, at least not a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
For true.
but yeah, that's definitely that blew me away. Saw it in theaters with you. I remember seeing it with you.
Yep.
And we were just all blown away.
That was
Um,
so good. I remember walking out of the movie saying, "I need to see that again."
so the one thing that sticks with me from seeing that movie that still angers me to this day is, do you remember when we left that movie and somebody was like, "Well, that movie wasn't anything like I thought it was going to be. That movie was horrible." Because
Yeah, I do
they
remember
thought it
that.
was going to be some kind of like sci-fi like space action
Yep.
movie or something, and I was like, dude,
Hmm.
how do you even still think it's bad just because
Right.
you? It was still great, even if you thought it was something it wasn't. But
Right. It was something you didn't expect. I mean, happy surprise.
it still makes me mad to this day, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
that's fair. That is fair. Then another one that sticks out a lot for me this year is well, there's two movies that do that I didn't appreciate until a lot later. One being John Wick, uh, that came out and just I had never heard of and then saw years later and was incredible.
Oh,
So
really?
that one's yeah.
We never saw that together.
No, I saw John Wick just like randomly.
Oh,
I
wow.
like watched it on my own by myself, thinking it was just gonna be a goofy movie, like a goofy action movie, which it is. But it was amazing, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
I think honestly, as surprising this is going to be, and obviously this is like some insider stuff because like, well, for people who are going to watch it at first, they'll know. But Steven, I think, is actually the one who got me to go see that movie.
Really
I think so.
good on him.
Cause like Steven's into like he's into like Mission Impossible and like,
Oh yeah,
um,
they're good stuff.
yeah. So I think he's the one who wanted to go see that. So like I think me and my
Right?
brother went to go see it with Steven because he was like amped up about it, and then we were like, "Whoa, this is a good ass movie."
Yeah, this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yep. And then and I mean it's fucking huge now. There's three of them, and there's a fourth one coming out. So, um, but then the last one I think that really stands out to me, at least that I saw more recently, is Edge of Tomorrow,
Mm.
which me and you watched at Brett's, and God, the movie was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Dude, it was very good, and that was
Mm,
Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, right?
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. And uh, oh god, I said his name earlier. Oh god, why can't I think of it? The guy you remembered and I couldn't. The guy from Alien and
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. Yeah, God, I don't know why I can't remember his name today, but it's so good. It's a it's not the most unique concept in the world, but it's super fun. And Tom Cruise does a really good job with it. And there's a few laughs I got out of it that I didn't expect. So,
Yeah,
but
man. That movie actually was one that kind of turned me around on Tom Cruise because I was kind of like, just because of like how weird he is, and like
yeah,
I feel like I never really saw much that he was really that good in. Like I never really got into the Mission Impossible movie, so I never really had like
mm,
a good impression of him, I guess. And
that's fair,
that movie kind of like was like I was like, all right, Tom Cruise is
right?
pretty good.
Yep.
And then the Mummy remake came out, and then that all
Oof.
went away.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. We all have
Well,
our bad movies.
yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. I think to piggyback on that one because I feel like it was a good movie, but I feel like it was kind of like under the radar yet again. Snowpiercer came out this year. Um,
That is a very good movie too.
Snowpiercer was like under the radar to the maximum. I feel like, um, and I honestly, this is another one of those movies I didn't realize came out at this time. And obviously, Chris Evans is in it, so he was
Yeah.
like
being Captain
Captain
America.
America and the Avengers, and then like
Yep.
I guess did this movie and somewhere in between there. It's
Yeah,
like,
at some point,
how the hell are these guys doing this, man?
right?
Like, jeez.
Constantly working.
Yeah, man. But
Another, another good one is I was just looking at Nightcrawler.
yeah,
This is a
Nightcrawler
really
was
good one
good.
too.
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie in
Yeah,
the theater with you guys.
yeah,
Um,
this is really good. Jake
yeah,
Gyllenhaal being good as usual,
yeah, dude. His
being really
character
creepy.
was his character was like really kind of fucked up in that movie,
Yeah, it
but
was.
it was good though. It's definitely very good.
Hmm.
Um, one of the other movies that was really good from this year. Well, there was a lot of them, but one that was like actually a really good horror movie, at least to me. That's like I think really underrated. As Above, So Below came out this
That
year,
is a very good movie. I
but
actually have that on my list too.
I saw that in theaters and like didn't really know what to expect, and I was like, dude, that movie was fucking good as hell. Like it was good. Like had
It was, yeah,
a lot of like really tense moments where they're like crawling through those little tunnels with bones and like
right,
dude, if you're like claustrophobic at all, I probably should not watch that movie.
right.
But
Yeah,
like,
it'd be horrible.
because like yeah, it's just about being stuck like underground, like in
Yeah,
catacombs
it's like,
underground.
yeah,
Like
it's about like going through the nine circles of hell or whatever, and
yeah,
like
it sure
dealing with
is.
the consequences of shit you've been doing.
Yep,
It
dude, it's very good. I think that movie
is.
is
It is
like one
really
of the
good.
most underrated horror movies of all time
Me
because
too.
it's
I
so good.
I recently one of the review guys I watch on YouTube who does horror stuff recently did that movie, and it kind of reminded me of it, and I was just like, man, that movie's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yep, definitely something horror fans should watch. But
Actually, just to touch on horror again, real quick, because there's not very many of them. But this other
yeah,
movie came out this year called Last Shift, um,
I've
which
not
was
seen that.
it's very good. It's very very
Oh,
good.
nice.
It's about this like police woman, and it's like I think it's actually her first shift on the job ever,
Oh,
and
jeez.
like this crazy like demonic shit starts happening like at the police station. It's pretty good. I'd say it's worth a watch. Um,
All
and
right.
then yeah, just to move on to one last horror I think from this year that's worth mentioning. Uh, Tusk, hello.
I was gonna say we can talk about Tusk.
Tusk, hello. I
Uh,
mean, we were
Another
lucky
Kevin
enough to
James
yeah, another Kevin Smith. You mean Kevin
or Kevin?
Kevin
Yeah, yeah,
James?
Kevin James. I'm glad
King,
it's not Kevin
got the
James,
King of
but
Queens over
Kevin.
here.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. Sorry.
We got Kevin Smith on the horn here, and we were lucky enough to have a showing of it in our theater in Erie.
Yep.
Surprisingly enough, so
Mhm.
we went and saw that bad
Yeah,
boy
that
in
was wild.
theaters, and that was
Did not
something
disappoint.
else. No, it did not.
It's
That
super haggard at the very
oh
least.
man, hey, Justin Long is in it, so
Oh yeah,
dude,
cast Justin Long's always worth seeing.
I miss Justin Long, man,
Me too, man.
and I wish he was in way more stuff. To be honest with you,
Yeah, he does like he does a decent amount of like voice acting stuff now. But
yeah, he does actually. I was kind of looking at that the other night when we were talking. Yeah, and he does like a ton of voice acting, I guess.
yeah,
So, which good for him. I'm glad he's
yeah, that's what he likes doing.
still doing work. But
Yeah.
yeah, and actually the old man who's in that movie was actually the same old man who's in Red State. Who
Oh, I didn't
plays like
realize
the
that.
he plays like the preacher in Red State.
Hmm.
So yeah, same guy, which makes sense. Kevin Smith is kind of like Quentin Tarantino in that, and actually like it seems like all these directors who are like really typically good always work with the same people. Like Christopher Nolan
Yeah,
always works with the
makes
same
sense.
people. You know,
Yeah,
Quentin Tarantino works with a lot of the same people. Kevin
Danny
Smith works with a
McBride
lot
and
of the same
Seth
people.
Rogen and all them always
Yeah,
have their
so
crew. Adam Sandler.
yeah, right, exactly. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that movie was good. It's definitely very haggard and very strange,
Yep.
but it's still good. So
Yeah, agreed. The what else came out? I feel like I had something else.
one of my, I mean, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out this year
That's true. Yeah,
because I know we wanted to.
which
I
is
know we
really
were
good.
touching on the first one. That was a good movie. I mean,
Yeah,
they're all really good. I mean,
yeah. All three of them are very
uh,
good.
following Caesar's story arc is very interesting.
Mm. Seeing how it becomes the actual Planet of the
I
Apes is
was
really
that
good.
was that the movie? Did he first speak in the first movie, or did he speak in the second movie? I
He
can't remember.
spoke at, I think, at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, I just remember it being like super iconic.
Right.
So
Yeah, it was really cool.
yeah,
He yells like no or something. I think it
yeah,
was.
exactly.
Yeah.
He does. He does.
Yeah. That was really good. I remember that giving me like chills.
Dude, absolutely.
and
Actually, one of the sorry to cut you off, but just
no, you're
one
good.
of the sleepers for me, mostly due to the cast, was Fury. Came out this year.
Oh, Fury was really good. The old
Yeah,
Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf and
I think.
guy who plays the Punisher.
Yeah, John Bernthal.
Yeah, John
Yeah,
Bernthal.
John Bernthal's in there too. Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was really good. I saw that. I did see that in theaters. I saw that with my dad.
I feel like we saw it together too, but
Yeah,
maybe we
we
didn't.
did. I remember seeing it with my dad too because he
Yeah,
wanted to see it. He's big into war stuff, so
fair
but
enough.
it was very good. And Birdman came out that year too,
Yeah, see,
which was okay.
I
I
saw
don't think it was as good as everybody hyped it up to be,
yeah
but
I saw that movie, and I'll be straight up, man. I thought it was way overhyped.
yeah,
I didn't get it. I don't know.
that's fair. Like I thought it was fine. Like the cast was really good and everything, but I just,
Yeah,
people were giving it like best movie of the year and stuff, and I was like,
yeah, I didn't really get it.
I don't know.
I think better movies came out that year, but
Definitely,
Interstellar beat it for me. But
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was good. I mean, Michael Keaton's always classic, but
Yeah, I love me some Michael Keaton and Emma Stone and what's his name? Edward Norton was in it.
oh yeah, that's right.
But
And 22 Jump Street came out this year too.
oh, that's right. Oh god, that's also very good. Both
Dude,
of those movies are hilarious.
the way that they were self-aware was just
Yeah,
so funny,
that
man.
show was so good.
It's just so funny. The
It
jokes they
is.
were making, like dogging on the first movie,
It
was so good.
really
Really,
was.
so good.
I need to rewatch those movies.
Dude, I haven't
It's
watched
been
them
a
in
long
so long.
time,
I used to
right?
watch them like every day. For like
Right?
there will be movies that I don't do it so much anymore, but I think it was back when I was like more in like I guess you could say depressed. uh,
Right.
when I was like
The
more
dark
the
days.
dark days where I would just like watch the same comedies like every night when I went to sleep so that I could like sleep soundly.
Uh, I would watch Hot Rod like every night for like 2 years or
Man,
something.
dude, I remember back in like 2009, man. You would come over to my house like every day, and we would
Yep,
just watch Hot Rod, like,
we
and play
did like every
Monster
day.
Hunter, like every
Yeah.
day.
Yep. Cause the old
Man,
PSP with a Hot Rod in the background,
that's right, man. Those were the days.
like Monster Hunter and Dissidia.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah, dude.
Simpler
Damn.
times.
Really was. Really was. All right. Anything else you want for 2014?
Let me take another look here. One of the ones that was really good for a lot of people was Gone Girl. That movie was really good for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Um,
I enjoyed
it
that
was it
movie. I
was
thought it was
good. Godzilla came out this year,
all right. Yeah.
which
First, I
I
thought
think
that was 2016. Maybe it is 2013. I could be crazy.
I think
No,
it's
I
20.
guess it is because it's. I have it on here too. Yeah,
Yeah,
2014.
2014. It's just crazy that
It
these
feels so
movies
long
came out
ago,
so long ago, man.
right?
Yeah, it's nuts. And if you're into the animated movies, How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out,
That's
which
right.
I liked a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Big Hero 6 also came out, which is very good as well.
Yep, that
Um,
is a good movie.
Dumb and Dumber 2 came out. Um, you know, wasn't amazing, but it was
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought it was okay.
it was funny. I went into it knowing it was never going to be as good as the original,
Yeah,
So
it was definitely entertaining.
I enjoyed it. I like
That's,
seeing those guys back in those roles again.
yeah,
Again, you just have to go. If you've never seen it, you just have to go into it with the expectation that it's not going to be as good as the original. There's no possible way
yeah,
for it to be. You know,
yeah,
you just have to go enjoy those guys being. You know,
yeah. Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are a good pairing. So,
yeah. You just have to just appreciate them being Harry and Lloyd again. That's really all
yeah,
there is to it.
that's
Um,
fair.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that year. Well, and then the Equalizer came out too, and the
Equalizer is a
Equalizer
really good joke.
is really good.
I love Denzel
Yeah,
Washington, man.
man, he's great.
He's so
He's
good in
great.
like everything he's into.
Oh, and then the we'd be remiss to not touch on the biggest controversy from that year, which was the
The Interview.
interview. The interview.
Yeah,
Yep, the interview came out that year.
yeah,
That was like one of the first movies that was like released on digital platform
yeah.
because like
Because of threats.
we were getting like nuclear
Yeah,
threats from North Korea. If they
yep,
put that movie out, they were gonna freaking nuke us all. So then they
yep,
just released it on well, they released it for free on like Google Play Movies and stuff, which was pretty cool, honestly.
yeah,
And that movie is actually hilarious. So
yeah. I think it's
like
really good.
that movie's hilarious,
Randall Park is King Jong Un is amazing, and he's
dude.
a hilarious dude in general.
The cast in that movie is so good,
Yeah,
man. Seth
at
Rogen, James
the
Franco,
the
man.
Eminem skit in the beginning just kills me every time.
And I'm
He's like,
gay.
"Oh, and
It's
I'm
because
gay."
I'm gay.
Wait, what? Yeah, wait, what? I like dudes. Oh
That
god.
movie is good. Definitely, that was like the big controversy of that year because that like came
Yeah,
out around Christmas, so that was like
true.
that was the big thing. I remember back then I was like, this was back when I was like in my like ultra like PC days where I was like, I'm gonna be an SJW, and I was like, man,
Jeez.
they shouldn't release this movie in theaters because what if North Korea
Taxes.
nukes and then it's their fault? And now these days I'm like, man, just fucking release the damn movie.
Right.
Like,
Don't be afraid of that stuff, man.
yeah, I gave that mentality up years ago, but I remember being that way back then. I look back on it, I'm like, it's so cringy. But
Yeah. I can't look at my Facebook post from like 10 years ago. It hurts me.
it
It's
hurts.
like, "Oh no, why?"
I think that's probably the story and the case for most of us. So,
Yeah, probably.
um, but yeah, there were some good movies that came out that year. But
For sure, yeah.
I think this next year had a lot of good ones too, though.
Oh yeah.
So
Next year hit me pretty hard. There's some real good movies here. The 2015 was real big. Like The Kingsman came out, which is
yeah, and that was the first one that came out, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the first Kingsman, yeah. And that movie was like some of the others, one I didn't really expect much out of. Like I didn't really know anything about it when I saw it.
I think I was the
And
same
then
way,
yeah, and then by the end of it I was like, this is amazing.
dude.
Holy shit.
And that the actor in that movie, I
Joel
forget his.
Edgerton?
Yeah, no, that's not his name. I don't think. That's the guy
Yeah.
from like. That's the guy from like Warrior and like The Gift
Is that?
with. It. He has a similar name, but I can't remember what it is. It's like something. I can probably pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. We'll pull a Joe Rogan podcast. Jamie, look it up.
Right.
Let's see. Kingsman. It is. His name is. Come on, don't do this to me. When they don't put the person you're looking for like at the top of the list.
Right.
Dude, where? Oh, Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty close.
yeah. Joel Edgerton, Taron Egerton. Yeah, but he's like who played like he's in
He was Elton John,
yeah, he was Elton John, and
Rocket Man. Yep.
I feel like he hasn't been in much else, which is a shame because I really like him,
Yeah, me too.
especially after seeing Kingsman.
Yeah, he's really good as Eggsy. He's very good that movie. And then, but yeah, that was just like some weird out of nowhere movie, but I loved it.
Yeah, I was the same way. I think I saw. We might have saw it together. Who knows? A lot of this
Yeah,
stuff we
a lot
might
of
have
stuff
saw
we
together,
did.
but yeah, there was a lot of movies this year. You know, I kind of don't want to touch on like the big one too quick this time because there's obviously one like big standout one, at
Yeah,
least for me
that's
this
true.
year.
Yeah,
Um,
there was What We Do in the Shadows came out this year,
oh, did it?
which is which is like still top three favorite comedies of all time. I think anymore.
Dude, that
That
is
movie
like
kills me.
it is one of the greatest. like comedies I think I've ever seen. That was one of
Yeah.
those movies where like was like hyping it up, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is
Mhm.
probably gonna be fucking garbage. And then
Right.
like watched it, it was amazing.
Right. I laughed so hard the whole way through that movie. Like Taika Waititi. Again, I don't think he's been in anything bad. I
Yeah.
like everything he's in. It's so good. It's just the funniest concept of just the three vampires living together in a flat
In
is
modern
just
times,
right. Is just way funnier than I expected it to be. But
so good, man. That movie was so
just
good.
yeah, I watch that movie like once a month probably. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
uh, I watched a decent amount of that movie, to be honest with you.
It's so good.
So I was gonna touch on since we're actually coming up on Christmas. The movie The Night Before came out this year. Have you seen that movie?
The night before. That
With
sounds really familiar.
It's got Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Oh no,
Anthony
no, no, no.
Mackie. It's like a Christmas movie.
Nope, I have not
Dude,
seen that.
it is so good.
Ooh,
It's like probably the best. Like it's probably the new classic like modern Christmas movie in my opinion.
nice.
It's so good, man. It's
I'll have to give it
hilarious.
a watch.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like I said, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, Michael Shannon's actually in it as well. Um,
We'll see if it's on anything.
I don't think it is, but dude, if you could like rent it or something from like Google Play or something,
Right.
it's hilarious, man. And like I said, since Christmas is rolling around, if you're looking for like a new Christmas movie to watch that you haven't seen before, it's definitely hilarious.
I definitely will.
It's definitely hilarious. So good,
Right.
so good. Um,
Straight Outta Compton came out this year.
yeah, that movie was very good.
It was
I need to
extremely good.
I need to rewatch that movie. Actually, I only ever saw it in theaters that one time, and
Yeah. It
that was
was
definitely really good because I didn't obviously didn't know too much about NWA going
right.
into it, so it was definitely a cool story and
Yeah,
you
the
know,
music's always been great, but yeah, like you said, I didn't really know anything about him backstory wise.
right,
And like
yeah,
Ice Cube's son playing him like as a kid was just
dude,
he looks just like him. It was so wild.
that was crazy, man. He was actually a pretty good actor too,
Yeah, he was.
so
He was in
which
something
is
else recently
he
too that he
was
was.
the guy who played Dr. Dre was in like The Walking Dead.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I don't know what else the other guy was possibly in.
He was in something recently. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was good too.
Um,
But
yeah, so another good movie that was like um, kind of underrated and kind of like it was a Netflix thing. Turbo Kid. Did you see Turbo Kid?
I did not.
Oh, really? That was a good one.
No.
The guy who plays the guy who plays uh, the one sergeant in Starship Troopers, who's also the professor. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah. The guy who
yeah,
has like the robot arm or whatever.
yeah, he's in that movie. It's pretty.
Really?
He's
Very
the
nice.
villain. He's the villain. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. It's worth a watch. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it is still, um, but and actually probably one of my favorite movies from this year, aside from like some of the bigger ones that we haven't touched on yet. Green Room. Um,
Green Room was pretty good.
Green Room was amazing, man. That was another one of those movies that had me like on the edge of my seat the whole time. And
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
that was like one of Anton Yelkin's last movies too, man. It's a
Yeah, I was
shame.
gonna
It's a
say yeah.
shame, dude. Oh man, shame what happened to him. He was so
Yeah,
young. He was
he
good.
was.
He was
He
so
was a very
good,
good
man.
actor. Yeah.
I love Anton Yelkin, man. I didn't
Yep.
even realize until after he died. Like it was one
Yep.
of those classic, like never really realized who he was. And then he died. And I was like, wait, what have I seen him in?
Right.
And then,
He's in all good things pretty much.
yeah,
It's
right.
just like, oh god, all the Star Treks and stuff.
Yeah, right. I actually want to watch that movie Odd Thomas that he's in.
It's good.
I've heard it's
I liked
good, but
it.
I've never really watched it. So,
Yep, I
um,
liked it. It's goofy, but it's good.
yeah,
What else came out this year? Creed came out this year. The
yeah.
first Creed, which was
Creed was
super
good.
good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Michael B. Jordan, just incredible in that movie.
Yeah, jacked as hell.
He really is. But that's when he was really starting to lift off too. Then he got the Black Panther stuff. But uh, that's probably, in my opinion, that's like my favorite Rocky movie that isn't really a Rocky movie, but
Yeah, right, right.
but it's super good. I loved. I didn't see that until after it was out of theaters because I wasn't all that interested in it. Then I watched it randomly on like a train trip when we went to
Hmm.
Florida, and I was like, "Holy shit, this movie's great!" But
One of the
um,
one of the movies I really liked from this year that was another like kind of obscure under the radar was this movie called Dope. Um,
I have not seen that.
it's good. It's very good. It's about these kids that like uh, I forget what they're trying to get money for. I think they might be trying to get money. So they're these black kids and they're trying to get money to. I think the one kid's trying to like go to college or something.
Right.
And but they're like a bunch of nerdy. Like this one kid's like super into like '90s fashion, so like he's like super nerdy. And they decide to start like selling drugs because they know that like no one will ever like suspect them because they're a bunch of nerdy kids. And
That's
the kid
funny.
needs wants to go to college, so he's like selling drugs to get money for college, I think.
Oh,
Um,
all right.
and it's actually really good, man.
Very nice.
It's really good. It's worth a watch if you can find it.
I remember
Um,
hearing things about it, but I just for some reason it just must have flown under my radar at some
the
point.
the main character has the dopest flat top of all time. So uh,
Nice.
I that's one of the main reasons I love it. I don't know why. Just it's great.
Well, it's definitely something I'll look into for sure. And what else came out this year? Did you see Sicario?
No, I didn't see that.
That movie's really good,
I
in
heard
my
it's. I heard
opinion.
it was good. It's like a remake, isn't it?
I think so. I think a remake of like an older movie, maybe.
Yeah, I heard it was
But
good, but I
yeah,
just
it's
never
like
saw it.
Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin and Emily Blunt. It's really good.
Okay.
It's like a really, it's like an action drama, like suspense
Okay.
movie. That's really good. I definitely recommend it.
I'll have to watch that. I'll have to check it out.
Mm. Then Ex Machina came out this year.
Yep, it sure did. That was a good one. Oscar Isaac
It's very
again.
good. Yep, he's what I always envision him as now for some reason. I don't even know why, because it's not like his most iconic character or anything, but I just really like him in this role. I think.
Yeah, yeah,
I think.
yeah. That was a good one. It was definitely very interesting.
Mm. And
Um,
the chicken that went on to do Tomb Raider and stuff.
oh,
So,
that's right. That was her, wasn't it?
mm, yep.
Um, Chappie came out this year too.
I like Chappie a lot. A lot of people talk shit on that movie,
Did
but I really like it.
I love Chappie, man. I
Yeah,
don't know. I like that movie a lot. I
the
thought it
ending was
was
super cool and
yeah,
like
cool
really cool.
concept.
Mm.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was cool. Um,
Like I don't like Die Antwoord or whatever, but they were good in it.
yeah, I like their characters in it. I mean,
Yeah,
they were basically just themselves,
yeah, pretty
um,
much.
but and actually, so a movie you mentioned earlier was what I was when you what was that movie with like Tom Hanks you're talking about?
Oh, Cloud
Um,
Atlas.
oh yeah, Project Almanac is what I was thinking of,
Oh, okay.
which was like this
Oh,
time travel movie.
is that a Michael Bay movie?
I might. I don't know if it's Michael Bay or not, or if
Is
I'm
that,
not sure if it's Michael Bay or if it's J.J. Abrams or something.
that could be.
Let me see if I
I
can find out
I never
actually,
saw that
because
movie, but I remember seeing like a trailer for it and then it not coming out for like years.
I liked
Like,
it. It was pretty good.
right? I feel like it was supposed to come out in like 2010 or something, and then it just never came out until like 2015. I'm like, huh.
It was directed by some dude named Dean Israelite in his
Oh, okay.
directorial debut. So
Okay, it's not what I'm thinking of then, obviously, but
yeah, it's like yeah, these high school kids like he finds like his dead father's like plans for like a
oh,
time
okay.
travel device,
Yeah,
and they
that
like
actually is the
and
movie I was thinking of
yeah,
then.
and he like they like rebuild it and learn how to like time travel
All right,
with it. It's
very nice.
pretty crazy. I think I'd say it's worth a watch. There's some pretty crazy like twists in it that are pretty worth it. So
All right, I definitely will have to look it up. I like time travel stuff, so
and then there's some okay horror movies that came out this year too. It Follows came out.
that
Um,
is a really good movie. I feel like it's a big sleeper hit.
Yeah, I
Like
think so. The soundtrack is incredible.
it is really good, and that movie was genuinely like really unsettling to me.
It was pretty unsettling. It's
Mm.
one of those movies where like while I was watching it, I was like, eh. And then when I left the theater, I was like, all right. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was
Like
kind
that
of like
shit's
weird.
terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like dude, who could be following me right now?
Right? Just the idea of knowing like there's something following you, like walking towards you at like all the time, and if it ever gets to you, it'll kill you. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
just so creepy.
And then another good horror movie that I actually didn't appreciate until watching it a second time was The Witch.
The Witch is really good. Yeah,
And the reason I didn't like it the first time is because I saw it in theaters and it was just really hard to understand the old English that they were
that's
speaking
that's fair.
without subtitles. So like
Mm.
I was like lost half the time because I like couldn't understand what the hell especially the dad, like
Yeah,
dude.
he
But
like mumbles hard in that
then I
movie too.
rewatched it with subtitles and I was like, oh okay, this movie's actually good because I can understand
Right?
what the hell they're talking about. So like, so that movie was really good as
Yeah, that's
well.
just from the same guy who did Hereditary, I think.
Yeah, it might be.
But
Um,
it's really good. Yeah.
and then just to continue on the theme of horror movies, but not good horror movies, the Poltergeist remake came out this
Oh
year.
boy, yeah,
That
that was
movie
bad.
was god awful. It was
Yep,
so
I
fucking
remember
bad.
watching that and literally being bored during that
Dude,
movie.
it was so bad. I don't understand
Yep.
how you can make it that bad. Like the original is a classic and they just like shat all over it. Like
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know. It was bad though. So
Oh
bad.
yeah. It was horrible. I forgot it even existed, to be honest, until you brought it up.
Yep. And
Uh,
then
and I think there's, in my opinion, there's like two really big movies that came out this
yeah,
year.
you're probably thinking the same ones I'm thinking of.
Thinking it's probably Mad Max
Yep.
and Hateful Eight.
Ooh, okay. There's one other one that I'm thinking of. Well,
Ooh, maybe
I
I
guess
didn't.
there's I
Oh,
guess there's
Revenant, I guess comes
and
in. Came
there's
out this.
actually one other one that I'm thinking of.
Damn. All right.
But maybe it's because it's fallen under it's Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Came
yeah.
out this year too, but
That's true.
that kind of falls under the Marvel blanket of like it's kind of a given that it's like going to be a
Yeah,
big
it's
thing.
good,
But
but yeah,
Age of Ultron, I think, was actually a lot of people's like least favorite of the Avengers. Um,
yeah. I really enjoyed Age
I
of
liked
Ultron,
it. James
but
Spader as Ultron was
Ultron,
like amazing.
perfect.
So
Yeah, it was
yeah,
spot on casting.
yeah. So,
But
but yeah, Mad Max, Hateful Eight, Revenant.
heavy hitters.
Those were heavy hitters, man.
The Force
Um,
Awakens came out too, actually.
that's
But
like that was like the controversial part. That
yeah,
was like the
yeah.
controversy of this
We'll we'll
year was the
we'll talk
Force
about that one
Awakens. Yeah.
last.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the theme I'm trying to build right now. Is like we'll talk about like the controversial, if
Yeah,
any, we'll talk about the controversial stuff at the end because like,
that's that's fair.
but yeah, man,
But
Tom Hardy had a strong year this year with Mad Max and the Revenant because I think he might
oh
have
yeah,
did he win an Oscar for like best supporting actor in the Revenant? I feel
he
like he
may
might have,
have.
but I mean his character was great in that movie and
Yeah,
obviously his character was great in Mad Max.
yeah.
Um,
Mad Max is such a classic now. I feel like anytime I see that movie like on TV or anything, I'm always watching it. I'm like, this is such a good movie.
dude, I had my girlfriend watch that movie, like not thinking she would really like it that much,
Right.
and it's like her favorite movie. Like,
Oh, nice.
yeah, she like loved it, like
Well,
absolutely
that's
loved
good.
it.
Good taste.
Yeah, man.
It's
So,
it's very good. Like Charlize Theron in that movie is really good too.
oh man,
Like I'm actually pretty annoyed that they're doing a Furiosa like TV show without her, or
yeah,
it's a movie, I think.
it's
No,
a movie, but like yeah, it's her like younger years or something. So
yeah, like she looks pretty young anyway for what she is. So you could
yeah,
probably just age her down a
they
little
can't
bit.
just
But
make up. Come on,
right, come on, that's dumb.
come on,
Like,
come on.
cause she wanted to do it too, so I'm just like, oh, that sucks. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and then Hateful Eight. I mean,
incredible.
Long as hell, but very, very, very
Yeah,
good.
very long movie, but very good movie.
Dude, I actually rewatched it on Netflix because they split it into like a. I think they released like the extended cut,
Oh boy,
and then also, but they split it into like a 3-part series basically.
it's a
And
good way to do it.
I watched it, rewatched it. Oh man, it's just so good.
It really is. It's God. I
The
remember
cast is just
watching that. Yeah,
stacked,
watching that in
man.
theaters. I think we saw it too.
I think so. Yeah.
Uh, and it was just like incredibly good. But yeah, but like you said, the cast is just so incredibly stacked. It like couldn't not be good. I feel like.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson, and Kurt Russell,
Yep.
like, God, and like the guy who is in like a ton of other, the guy who plays, the one guy in Kill Bill, I forget his
Yeah.
name,
Mm.
but he's in there, and
The crazy
jeez,
chick. Can't remember her name either. But
yeah,
everyone in there was super good.
and
Channing Tatum.
yeah, he makes an appearance eventually,
Mm.
and I think is Walton Goggins in that movie or no?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he is.
I don't think
It's a
he
shame.
is. Yeah, it would have been a good movie for him.
Yeah, right.
But
And then obviously the Revenant,
oh yeah, the Revenant.
Leo's big Oscar win
Final
finally.
final Oscar win. Yeah,
He won an Oscar for getting mauled by a fake bear,
right.
which I'm sure is pretty hard to do. To be
Yeah, that
fair,
that scene is pretty intense too. So
yeah. I mean, he's spitting all over the goddamn place. So
right, that movie was good. Again, I don't think it was as good as like Wolf of Wall Street, but it
yeah,
was still good.
but we had some definitely some heavy hitters this year
Yeah, this year was
with
big.
those
And
three plus Age of
yeah,
Ultron.
yep. Ant-Man also came out
Ant
as his.
Man came out as
Which love
well.
Paul Rudd, so can't can't
Yeah,
say no to that.
and honestly, you could probably say Straight Outta Compton was a pretty heavy hitter too. That
Oh
movie was
yeah,
really good
definitely.
that year. A lot of people were really into that movie, and myself
Mhm.
included. So,
Yeah, same. Yeah, it was real
um,
big. Um,
and Krampus came out this year, which
Krampus is a real good one.
I like that movie. It's good.
I think it's great. Yeah, I think that movie's really fun to watch.
If you want if you want a cool little like horror comedy Christmas movie,
Right,
it's a
real
good
good.
one. It's a good one.
What's his name is in that?
The guy who
Uh,
plays Todd Packer in The Office. Is that who you're thinking of?
no, I'm thinking
Oh,
of
the other guy who plays the dude in Parks and Rec,
yeah,
and I actually only ever see him as the
Step
brother
Brothers.
from Step
Yeah,
Brothers.
yeah.
Yeah,
I see it as that too.
I forget
You
his name though. I
want to
can't.
touch these guys? No. You want to touch this? You want to touch this shit?
You want to know what's good for a hurt shoulder? If you lick my
Look at
butthole.
my butthole. I see. You want to punch me in the face, don't you?
But you want to punch me in the face right now, but you
But
won't.
you won't do it. Punch me in the fucking face. Oh my god, it's so good.
Uh,
Adam Scott. That's who it
that's
is.
his name. That's right.
Oh my god, it's so good. I want to watch Step Brothers now. That movie's fucking so good.
I haven't watched it in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been quite a while for me too. That movie's just
I
hilarious.
used to watch it a lot. So,
Oh
dude,
man.
oh, there's actually so kind of like since we don't really, I guess we kind of have touched on foreign film, a lot of like more like Asian, but
Yeah.
some foreign film actually, a foreign horror movie from this year. It's this movie called Baskin. Um,
Baskin.
I believe it's Swedish, maybe.
Okay.
But if you like Hellraiser, um,
Ooh.
very very similar vibe to Hellraiser.
Do like a good
Um,
Hellraiser.
it's like these like Swedish or whatever country that it's in or Finnish something. Like this team of cops, they like respond to this call out in this like abandoned building, and they get pulled into this like hellish realm of some kind,
Oh
and
god.
it's like crazy, man. It's like very similar to Hellraiser. If you can find it, it's worth a watch.
All right, I'll definitely have to look it up.
Especially if you like stuff in the vein of Hellraiser. So,
Oh yeah.
um,
I need
and
some
then
good horror movie stuff.
kind of on like the more lighthearted side of horror, Goosebumps came out this year. Jack Black classic.
I never ended up seeing those,
Oh
though I
really?
heard they were pretty decent.
They're actually pretty good. The first one was good. I didn't see the second one,
Mm.
but the first one is pretty good.
I do love me some
Um,
Jack Black, so I should see it at some point. But
Yeah. Jack Black is great in that movie, but he's great in just about everything he's in. So,
Right.
and let's see what. Southpaw came out. That one kind of went under the radar.
Yeah. Southpaw is
Um,
really good though.
yeah, it was very good. Very
Pretty
very
emotional movie.
emotional story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Knock Knock came out this year,
Oh
and
God.
with Keanu
Movies
Reeves,
movies terrible.
one of his worst performances ranked of all
Yep.
time. That movie
Yep.
is so bad.
It is
It is
real bad.
so bad. Oh god, it's on Netflix right now, I think, and
Yep.
I
Pretty
kind of want to
sure
watch it again, but I know it's so bad.
it
So
is really bad. This year also had Jurassic World came
yeah,
out,
eh.
which was all right, and it also had Inside Out, which I really liked.
Yeah. I was hyped on Jurassic World when it came out, but like looking back on it, like it was a pretty mediocre movie.
Yeah, I think the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are both pretty not just okay
I didn't
movies.
even I didn't even see Fallen Kingdom. Like I I
It's it's meh.
dude, I personally compared it to like, and I understand because like this is the criticism I got for this criticism was like people were like, well, it's bringing dinosaurs back to life, so. But like I compared it to like almost like the Fast series, where it just started to get like too over the top. Like
Right,
I understand that it's bringing dinosaurs back to the life, but there's still like a limit in my opinion.
right.
Like Jurassic World was starting to get over the top, where they're like splicing genetics and making these new dinosaurs, and I'm like,
Yep.
dude, this is getting a little. And then like the next movie was like Chris Pratt's running away from like an explosion and like somehow probably survives. And I'm like, dude,
Oh yeah.
this is over the top for me, man. Like the first two were like, while it was still like the concept of like bringing dinosaurs back to life, it was still pretty grounded in what a
Yeah.
reality could be like
Right.
with
If
that.
that
Like
happened, yeah, for sure.
I feel like the newer ones were like just taking it to the next level where like it started to become like super duper unrealistic. Which like
Right.
I don't know, just I don't know, it lost the charm for me
That's
when it
fair.
got to that level, you know.
Yeah, that is fair. Then let's see here. Well, do we want to talk about the old Star Wars?
The elephant in the room,
Yeah.
the big controversy, the Force
Yep.
Awakens, the big return
Force
of Star
Awakens.
Wars.
The old J.J. Abrams.
I
The old black person can't be a stormtrooper for some reason. Controversy that happened. And then
honestly, that really isn't the controversy in the forefront of my mind.
yeah, is it the Ray thing?
I mean, kinda, um, and mostly just the overall like everybody just shitting on it because they didn't
Yeah.
think it was very good, which it
Ah,
really wasn't that great in my
yeah.
opinion.
I
But
thought I thought it was good. I didn't think it was like amazing because
yeah, right.
it's just a New Hope, like the original movie, different, a little different,
Yeah, it was like
different characters.
it was like a movie of fan service, basically.
Yeah,
What I saw a lot
pretty
of
much.
people talking about, but I honestly I did. This was back before I like really. I don't want to say focused. I probably focused is the right word though. Before I focused on like all this like media, like SJW, like versus people who think that a black guy can't be a stormtrooper,
Right. Yeah,
this is before I like cared about any of that stuff or focused on it. So like, it didn't mean that much to me. So
that's fair.
I do remember the whole Ray thing, like how she kind of like seemed shoehorned into the whole thing because she was like instantly powerful. But then I saw
Yeah.
people talking about how like Luke was the same way essentially.
Yeah, it's true.
So it didn't really matter to me, but obviously it was super controversial to like other people. Um,
Yeah.
I just saw it and thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think when I first saw it, I was like super into it, but I think I was just letting like
The hype get
the
to you.
residual hype or like
Yeah.
the surrounding hype kind of
Yeah.
dictate my opinion. I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. I'd have to see it again to kind of form a new
Yeah.
opinion on
I
it. But
watched. I watched through a few of the Star Wars movies before The Mandalorian came out, and uh, Force Unleashed was one of them. And I still think it's a good movie. I think it's
yeah,
just
overall, I think it's pretty good. But
it's. I think it's a little overhyped, but I still think it's good.
I don't know.
I
To me, the whole new trilogy in general seems kind of forced. But
I mean I don't. Yeah, and I didn't like the last movie at all. So so that kind of killed it for me. The one I like the most is the Last Jedi, which everyone hates. So I'm just like, ah, okay, I guess.
is the Last Jedi the second one?
Yeah.
See, that's my least favorite one, man.
Oh man,
In
I
my
like that one the
opinion,
most.
Ryan Johnson just straight fucked that whole movie up.
See, I like that one the most because I feel like it was going for something different. It didn't
Yeah.
it I know it didn't feel as much Star Wars as Star Wars should feel, but it was the whole concept of like you don't have to be like this legendary warrior to be like someone that matters or like someone that can save the universe. And then the next movie they're just like, "Nah, you have to be that." They're like, "No, she's a Palpatine." Because in the whole second movie they play with like, you're just a nobody, like your parents were just random people and it doesn't matter, but you can still save the galaxy or whatever because the force is with everybody and it's just who you are, who you want to be. Anyone can be a hero essentially. And then the second movie, third movie, they're like, nah, that's just not a thing, don't worry about it.
Well, that's kind of the big gripe I had with the whole new trilogy, where like, because wasn't J.J. Abrams supposed to initially do all of them? I
No,
th-
actually
oh, okay.
they were gonna have three different directors for each
Mm,
movie.
okay.
So they were gonna have JJ, and then they're gonna have Ryan Johnson, and then someone else. But then Ryan Johnson's one, like people hated it so much that they just brought JJ Abrams back, and I was like, oh, so now nothing's gonna make sense.
Well, that's just it. Like, but that's kind of I kind of feel like that was going to happen no matter what, though, because like they had three different directors for these movies that were supposed to be sequels to one another, and like
Yeah,
Ryan Johnson didn't keep very much consistent with the first one and his second
that's
one.
true.
And then like the third one wasn't consistent with the second one, which wasn't consistent with the first one.
Yeah,
And it's just like, which I
it's true.
guess we'll get to that when we get to the other ones. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
just
I
thought
mean,
as if I looked at all three of them separately, I think I like the second one the most, just because it did different stuff. But
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think I like the first one on the main focus or the main basis that it was like a lot of fan service, and I just got to
yeah,
see like a lot of the classic stuff from the. Which disclaimer,
that's
I'm
fair.
not like a massive Star Wars nerd to begin with. Like I'm not like
Yeah,
I've seen them all, but I'm not like part of the fandom. I'm
yeah,
not
that's
gonna
fair.
like I'm not gonna go cry about it on Reddit or anything. I don't
Mm,
care enough. I don't actually
yeah.
care enough about much to go cry about it on Reddit. So
True. I very rarely go on Reddit in general. So,
exactly, same here. But
but,
yeah, so I guess that definitely the Force Awakens was like the big controversy of this year.
yeah.
If there are any, it was that one. But
Mm,
um, I think that's really it for that year, though.
yeah.
I don't. The only other one that I didn't mention that I think is worth mentioning is actually two. The Martian with Matt Damon was pretty good. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw
Martian
that.
was good. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
that was good. And then Spectre came out, which is the James Bond movie.
One of the
Um,
weaker ones, in my opinion.
yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but
Even
it
though
was.
Christoph Waltz was in it, but
Yeah, he was the villain, wasn't he?
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Which was
So
upsetting because it wasn't very good. But he was
yeah,
good in it. But
figures.
he's
Yeah.
always good though. So,
But yeah, so that wraps up 2015, I think. Hey, everybody. So we decided to end this episode last night kind of on a whim because it was getting pretty late and we were both getting pretty tired. So we did end up ending the episode here. But we do plan on finishing up the rest of the decade here in the second episode of the Big and Small Media Podcast. So please do give us a follow on our respective YouTube channels for the most up-to-date updates because we will be eventually getting social media accounts hashed out for the podcast, but we do not have those just yet. So if you're friends with us on Facebook, we'll probably be posting updates there. And as I said, we'll be posting as many updates to our respective channels as well as far as new episodes go. So thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.